Now you're listening to wrestling news that matters from people you want to hear it from, deep from within the confines of the internet. Covering WWE like no one else and covering TNA because no one else will. You are listening to the best in the world, Ring Rust Radio!
Brad Maddox.
I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. Let's go,
episode of Ring Rust Radio, the best goddamn wrestling radio show on Spreaker, on the internet, in the whole goddamn universe, folks. Ooh, I'm your host, the most Donald Wood, looking fine and feeling fine, oh baby. Ooh, Mike Chiari. Brandon Galvin, you heard me today.
Yeah.
Sure wasn't.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, there's a lot of shaking, there's a lot of like, I rubbed my junk on like 3 different pieces of furniture during that intro, dude. It's wild,
what?
man. I did, man. I did.
Fuck?
I just smearing my shit on all my desks. I'm excited.
All of your desks.
I got
Jesus.
2 right next to each other. Remember? Right near the danger steps.
I hope I didn't touch the desk. When I
Yo,
was there.
man, I saw you leaning your hand on it and shit. Every time I just go there, just smear my
Right
shit
where
on
the
it.
dick goes.
That's right where the dick goes. Don't touch there. That's where the dick goes. My window's wide open. 2 neighbors just stared at me. Unbelievable. Brandon Galvin. We're back.
Why
We're
are you
live.
always looking into your fucking room?
Why?
Yeah.
Why are people looking? Because I'm screaming from the window. You know what I mean? They're not, I don't think they're choosing to look in the window. I think they just see this fat body because my head's above the window.
Do you not have curtains?
It's the little tiny window at the top of the stairs. There's no curtain for it, dude. What are you going? I could use a handkerchief and be fucking curtain on this fucking window.
Do it.
I have a 1991 WWF curtain in my office.
Wait, how long you had that? You never mentioned that.
Oh, I've had it for
Since
a long time.
1991.
No, not since 1991. For probably like 7-8 years.
BJ's gonna lie and say he remembers that show. What show is it from?
What do you mean? What show?
I don't know. Brandon Galvin,
That
we
was good diss.
No, listen, well, it's because you said that in 1992 or 1994 you remember seeing Owen versus Bret.
There you go. You got
But
there.
really,
That was
but really,
1994.
but really, it was Undertaker as Undertaker that had your fucking eye. I know it.
It did.
Brandon Galvin.
But that was the main event. Tonight we're going to talk about WWE and AEW.
Yeah, we
Wait,
are.
not.
The better show.
We got Dirty Busters. Mike Carr brings us all the lies and rumors going around pro wrestling.
I'll
People like
skip
Donnie
it.
are scared and run away.
I'll skip it. Me and Dave don't like that shit. I was sitting on Dave's couch the other day, and his phone started going off. Craziest shit ever, dude.
That was great. We
What
have the
did it
WWE.
say? Andrew Jackass?
Andrew Jackass. Yep.
Sure did.
That's, you know what? Honestly,
Donnie Jackass.
that's a lot more like our show than we want to admit.
Dave is like the biggest fucking geek in the world. Imagine being Andrew and you kind of get owned by Melts because your name's Andrew Jackass.
I gotta tell you, Andrew Jackass absolutely loved that. He's like, "Did you hear me get mentioned by Dave's answer machine?"
Do you
I like
think
how
when
you just
like
let it go.
do you think like when they like the Senate would convene and Andrew Jackson was president, they would like kind of own him and call him Andrew Jackass?
100%, dude. That seems like an early 1800s diss too. You know what I mean? Like Andrew Jackson, more like Andrew Jackass. Am I right? Print it in the tabloids, will you? I don't know why fucking Jack the Ripper with his fucking.
Did we ever talk about how they like kind of found who Jack the Ripper was?
No,
Yeah.
because it's not true, man. I'm not doing this right now.
It's not true?
They said they found a rag from the one lady who got murdered, and it was covered in shit and cum because she was a whore.
It was Sabu?
And so they said basically they could diagnose through the shit and the cum who murdered her. But how many people shit and cum on that dress?
Just Jack the Ripper.
It's not true. Listen, logistically, probably not true. Also, just
How does
hold
shit
on.
and come on the same
how you
rag?
put it on
Because
her.
it's like the late 1800s, dude, and she's a her, and she was just she shits in the alleyway and then wipes the cum off her fucking back with her fucking dress. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
That was
All right, she's a.
no wonder the life expectancy was so low back then.
Dude, if you read about the conditions, they're like she was an old whore, 35 years old, and you're like, wait, what? Easy, brother. I'm a fucking ancient whore.
That's
then.
how Meltz used to talk about Sable.
She was 27 at the time. Unbelievable.
He legit said shit like that.
I
about
know
her.
he's a monster. Always.
She
has
looks like
been.
an old. She looks like an old stripper with her fucking bolt-ons or
Well,
whatever.
I
You say
will,
shit like that.
I will say this. Looking at pictures of Dave now, his face looks like an old catcher's mitt. Like just tattered and torn and worn and beaten in. You know what I mean? Worn, hefty, miles, a lot of miles.
Been through a lot.
Hell yeah, dude. It's been fucking too many 100-mile-an-hour fastballs right down the middle. Mike?
Guys.
I wasn't even done. We also had
Oh.
WWE Fantasy Standings, fan, you know, so much more.
There you go. Good.
Do you
Get
enjoy
this intro
wrestling talk devolving into talk about Jack the Ripper's cum rag?
That was
Yes,
on you,
right.
Mike.
This is on you, Mike.
No, he mentioned Jack the Ripper.
Yeah,
That's about
you. You kept
It just
going.
popped into my mind that we never really discussed it before.
Are we doing an addendum episode to our Jack the Ripper attention horrors?
Absolutely not. Anyways, find us anywhere you get your podcasts. Interact with us on Twitter at @RingRustRadio. Email us, be part of the show, ringrustradio@gmail.com. Buy our merchandise at prosandtees.com/ringrustradio. So many great t-shirt designs, including Cut Your Dick!
Oof.
George made suggestions for shirts. I forget what they even were, and I told him he's the only one that's going to buy them.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
If you
Everybody
want-
else buy them as
If
well.
you want them so bad, you make them. That's
Yeah.
how I say it. That's how I encourage our fans to buy our merchandise.
Absolutely. You do the legwork, and we'll benefit. Support us at patreon.com/ringrustradio, where you can hear ad-free episodes, time for fantasy drafts and brackets, make us watch wrestling-related movies and pay-per-views, and so much more.
But we really need you
Also-
over there, please. So patreon.com/ringrustradio. We've had some really down months, and people are saying it's because we only do evergreen content. We give you nothing extra, and for that I say shut the fuck up. Okay? We work really fucking hard. Give us your money. Just $1.
Please.
Please.
For just $1 a month.
You can make us slightly less poor. I get 33 cents of that, dude. So does Mike. So if you hate BJ, we still get 66 cents of that.
Good point. 33.3. You can also check out
God,
Ring Rust
you're
Radio
such
on
a bitch.
YouTube for updated clips and Triple R Gaming. Donnie, BG, and fans of the show have been playing different games like Schedule 1, Chain Together, Headliners, and Midnight Murder Club each week, and posting early access on patreon.com/ringrustradio well before it hits YouTube. If you're interested in joining a session, email ringrustradio@gmail.com.
Yeah, we are, honestly, we're having a really good time, actually. We've kind of found our niche in terms of, like, the dumb shit we're doing, but it's extra dumb and you'll love it. So check it out. Our views, guess what? They're going up. They're going up,
So
man.
awful.
They're going up, dude. And we're, single digits, thing of the past. We're double digits every fucking time now, baby. Every time you can
How
count
many
on.
times do you click it?
Me personally or me and my family?
You
That
or your family.
probably, I definitely start the video and put it, on mute in the background playing at least once every day. So, listen, someone's got to support us. I know no one else is out here doing it, so I got to fucking do it, all right? So you want to talk WWE and AEW? This is depressing.
14 views yesterday. Let's
Look at
go.
that. Look at that. That was for my son's video. And you know what I mean? He's not up there yet. He's not quality like his father yet. He's good. He's good. He's gonna get there.
Right,
Isn't
yours
that
is
more than-
44.
He ain't there yet. Yeah, go to the previous one that I did. What does that got?
Yeah, 44.
Damn, dude, little Donnie's got some work to do, baby.
Yeah, you're on fire,
That's
man. The
what?
fire truck is coming.
Damn, dude, he knows, dude. You said there's a fire truck coming?
I said, you're on fire. The fire truck is coming. I was trying to, it's a little segue of what's going on outside the apartment.
I don't hear it. For the first time in my life, I don't hear squalor.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either.
It was.
Jesus
I
Christ.
just want to hear a clown car
Yeah.
again. That's all I wanna hear.
Yeah, seriously. Or the spaceship. We've had some noises, dude. Let's talk wrestling.
We're gonna put this all in order. From LW to Dark, we about to have a discussion about the one true sport. Who's selling the finish? Does this make sense in the art? Tell me who botched, who rocked, who's cashing in on the mark. These takes are uncut, man, they're pure and they're raw. Blow up like dynamite, have you smacked down on the floor. On a collision course with the number one source. Now let's head back to the ring for the latest report. Ring rust.
Alright guys, time to talk WWE and AEW, but first we have to go through the RIPs. Nobody actually died, but R-Truth and Carlito's contracts were RIP'd. And
Don't forget about Valhalla.
Valhalla, yeah, well, she was not renewed. I don't
That's
hold...
the same as R-Truth and Carlito. They all were not renewed.
No, Carlito, R-Truth specifically said he was released.
He said that, but then all the reports was that his contract's just running out.
I gotta tell you the truth. I'm gonna believe what R-Truth said. Because he's the guy. Pardon me.
I don't think he was
trusting
released. I think his contract's running
I
out.
think he was released. So I'm gonna choose to go with that because he said
Either
it with
way,
his mouth.
he's gone. And
I think it's murky.
I think it's
murky. There we go.
Oh my god. All I know is that R-Truth, WWE, job killers they are, cowards in times of need. They did this during the pandemic, and they just continue to do it. They're monsters. They squeezed the last drops out of this lemon and then threw it away. In R-Truth, Carlito.
I don't agree with that. I think there's still some juice left in R-Truth.
There was always juice.
I think you could maybe say that Carlito and Valhalla got the juice squeezed out, but
yeah,
I don't think R-Truth did.
Well, no, in the sense that they were just using and abusing him. They got Saturday Night's main event on him. And
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they did. I'm sorry. I know it's hard for you to understand because you're a WWE show. This is what happened. They're pieces of shit for doing this. I'm sorry. Carlito, if we're honest, Carlito never should have been brought back. He had one reaction, and we got excited for it. Savio Vega's going to have a crazy reaction. I just want you to know we shouldn't sign him. They jump ahead of this. We fucking should not sign him.
Savio Vega's going to be reportedly
at Worlds Collide.
Worlds Collide.
Yeah, and here's my deal.
Dude, I'm hyped for that.
But I know you are, and that's why I'm jumping ahead of it. We should not re-sign Savio Vega.
Mike pops.
I know.
I would absolutely sign Savio Vega.
Tony Khan sitting next to Mike, and he's like, "What's this reaction I see over here? Huh? You like that? Should we get that guy?" You're like, "Fuck yeah! Oh, don't even get me started on S.A. Rios." What's he gonna say?
Yeah, I love that
Hell yeah, dude! I know how
this is fucking awesome.
I know this is the kind of shit that I would know. I'll know that you guys are secretly in charge somewhere when they're like guest star on Raw tonight, Juventud Guerrero. I'll be like, what the fuck? How did Juve get on here?
Juventud Guerrero versus Ahmed Johnson. Stay tuned later if you want to hear more about them.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you BJ definitely fucking find a Mike Sanders. Mike Sanders looked bland as shit. He looked bland as shit when he was like great, in his prime. Right now, he's got to look like the ultimate car salesman. He's just like a little bit overweight, and he's just like, yeah, I kind of gave up on life after being above average. Right?
I usually agree.
Only 55.
I usually agree with BG's like takes on like underrated wrestlers and stuff, but like Mike Sanders is the one I could never get behind.
You guys didn't watch.
I did.
First off, I did.
I remember seeing him. I had just no reaction in my mind to that man.
Okay,
it wasn't
like
joy, it wasn't hatred, it was nothing.
Listen, this is a true. This is a true story. I watched WCW first before WWE when I was a young man. Okay, young boy, I'll say, because I was just a boy just back then. When I watched through wrestling history, I watched WCW again. I didn't know who he was until BJ wouldn't shut the fuck up about him. I watched his career unfold twice, and I didn't know who the fuck he was. Okay, you know how hard that is? How irrelevant you have to be to fucking make that happen?
You weren't paying attention, man.
I was. I will give another shout out to Triple H because he is killing WWE, and I've been saying it time and time again. How so?
Yeah, can you explain?
You want to do this now, or you want to do this later?
I want to know how the company that's doing better business than it's ever done before, how it's getting killed.
Okay, better business than ever before, and using your metrics, 100% correct. Okay?
Right.
100% correct. Because they're charging more than ever for tickets. Because everything costs so much more. Because they have the backing of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Yes, when you squeeze those parameters in the direction that you want them, it does look like that. But in terms of an income to paying your employees, their money is lower than it's been in years.
That's not true at all.
100% true.
No, it's not.
Okay, let's go here. I got some stuff for you. I want you to go down this road. I've been saying this for months, and I didn't know where I was going to do this, but I'm doing it right up front. Vince McMahon needs to come back to WWE. I think that Triple H is. I wrote a whole list down because I'm really tired of this. I really do believe this. Triple H is running WWE into the ground.
You know that Vince used to release tons of people also?
He's not perfect. But
he also raped, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, throw that allegedly in there. You can't just say that. Yeah, he might not have raped.
I did say it.
Right now, the chances of him raping and chances of him not raping are the same. Yeah, so.
And by the way,
hold on.
The whole Vince narrative, can we not pretend, I've seen this narrative going around, oh no, WWE released somebody, we should bring back Vince. It's
Did I start it?
Do you remember how fucking bad shit was at times?
Go on,
you yourself, Donnie, would cry all the time and call him out of touch old man how he sucked.
Guess what? I was wrong.
Triple H is far from perfect as a booker. He's far from perfect in terms of running the company, which he doesn't really do, but he runs the creative. But it's still an improvement from what we were getting for the most part.
So, number one, Roman Reigns. Fucking Roman Reigns booked as a top star without fucking fail. Some of the best storytelling in wrestling history. Triple H takes over. He has been fucking nothing but interference in every match. Looks weak. Always needs help. Barely there. Triple H's fault. How about Bianca Belair? How about shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I'm talking now. Bianca Belair in NXT. Booked solid but not great. Goes to the main roster. Becomes an absolute top star under Vince. Triple H takes over, she's a fucking afterthought. Austin Theory, a guy I loved. He comes into WWE, he's Vince's pet project, and since Triple H takes over, Austin Theory, dead on the sidelines. Brock Lesnar, Triple H has been jealous of him his whole career. He's not using him because he's fucking jealous. John Cena,
he allegedly wanted to be pissed on, that's why.
Not illegal, just immoral. John Cena. Top star, never fucking been anything but that, gets turned heel. This reaction doesn't work. It was a bad decision, and that bad decision sits on Triple H's shoulders.
Did you hate how John Cena was booked for 20 years?
No, yes, because
so this is no different.
But that's John Cena booking, not Vince McMahon booking. R-Truth, fucking unbelievable. You erased one of the most decorated champions in wrestling history. How about Drew McIntyre? Drew McIntyre under Vince McMahon, world champion, treated like a king. You go over here, come on, dude, that's crazy, dude. Charlotte Flair? What about Charlotte Flair?
She was injured for 2 years.
Triple H did it. So, Alexa Bliss. A top star under Vince, she's treated like shit. Bobby Lashley, top star under Vince McMahon. You can't even find him a storyline. He's got to go over to AEW and show you how good he is.
He was in the mid-card, just like he is in AEW right now.
Listen, and this is a quote I'm going to use at Clownball9 for this last because I thought he just has it so eloquently. Triple H is allergic to real talent and sports entertainment. You're delusional if you think Triple H isn't informed, knows the releases are happening behind the scenes. Thank you. That guy said that. Isn't that wild?
Did he read a fucking long ass tweet that somebody put together?
No.
Is that what just happened?
I did not. That is not what happened. That's not what happened. I made a list.
And the vast majority of it was wrong. The only thing I'll agree with from it is that the Bloodline storyline should not have been bullshit. Just fucking destroyed like it was.
That's the only thing like you were
I still
in
can't believe
that
that
segment.
happened.
But anyways.
You had a fucking 4-year storyline that just fizzled out for no reason.
Petered out because you were dumb about it. Yep.
Just to talk about the releases and or contract expirations.
God, by the way, for the real though, I made a little list. I'm glad I fucking handled that. And big shout out to Clownboy69 or whatever his number was.
I enjoyed Carlito's little thing as a comedy guy in Judgment Day.
His little thing. How degrading can you be? His little thing. He sold merchandise merchandise like a motherfucker. He's one of the best ever, dude. And you're and Cake
you just said he never should have been brought back. Anyways,
I said Carlito should not have been brought back.
That's what I'm talking about is Carlito.
Oh, I thought you were talking about R-Truth. Wrong.
No, I'm sorry. Carlito. Carlito had a little thing with his comedy segments with Judgment Day, and I enjoyed that.
He was fun while he was there. He made his time on TV meaningful.
Unfortunately for him, kind of writing was on the wall with that. They weren't really using him besides, one-liners. Sarah Logan, Valhalla, she'd been gone for a while. R-Truth, though, we don't know the specifics of the situation. We don't even know for sure, I guess, based on what Donnie's saying, if he was released or if his contract expired. I think his contract expired. But to me, I just don't understand how you don't do everything you can to just make him a lifer in WWE. I always assumed that he would be a lifer in WWE. I view him the same way as The Miz, where they are just so good and versatile in whatever you put them in, and they succeed in whatever you put them in. They're good ambassadors for the company, even outside of just wrestling. That to me, they have value, and you find a way to keep that value. So I was shocked when that news came out. I really enjoyed his short program with Cena. I thought it was entertaining. I loved the stuff that he did with Judgment Day, last year. That shit was awesome. He just always, no matter what you put him in, he always was great and he always delivered. Even when he had, the last several years, limited opportunities, very little TV time. He wasn't used that often, but when he was great.
The most
he was injured.
The most decorated champion in WWE history.
The Miz.
No. He is. He has the most title victories in run of any champion. Yeah, the 24/7 stuff is great. He's never been bad once since he's been in WWE.
No, I understand he's 53, and at a certain point you move on. But to me, he still can go in the ring when he gets opportunities. He's still entertaining. I don't know. I think you find a way to keep him. Maybe, they sign him to a Legends deal and get him involved in some other way that's not in ring capacity.
Going to AEW, bitch.
I think he's still good enough, and they should have found a way to keep him.
That's dumb as shit. He's going to AEW. He's going to dominate over there. It's going to be awesome.
He's going to dominate?
Yeah. Well, dominate in terms of making me laugh and also having good matches, because he still can have good matches.
I'll tell you what, AEW could use some good comedy for once, so.
BJ?
Well, this really fucking pissed me off. You guys know I liked R-Truth since before the TNA days, the K-Quick days when he was a Road Dogg.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to SmackDown. Me and my buddy was so hyped that he was on the show, and Road Dogg was on the show because we love DX and we love K-Quick. And then when R-Truth was the truth in TNA as Ron Killings, just incredible performer, and all the buzz that was around it, and really built a buzz for TNA at that time when they were a young company. And it always actually pissed me off that he was pigeonholed in WWE in this past decade essentially as just a fucking moron who was just there for comedic relief and being dumb and not knowing what the match was, not knowing where he was and all these things, because he's so much more than that. And he could go in the ring. He couldn't go on the mic. He to me was always someone who was a total package. And despite being pigeonholed into comedic relief, crushed it every single time. Everyone was laughing. Everyone's having a good time. Everyone always universally loves R-Truth. And I don't know who said it. So it was on Twitter though, or it could have been from an article, maybe it was from Bus Over. I don't know who it was, but it was that it is important to have locker room leaders, people that in the locker room that everyone else loves, morale guys or girls. R-Truth is a morale person. Everyone loves R-Truth. All the outpouring of support. Kevin Owens tweeted, Rhea Ripley tweeted, Big E so many people were tweeting their support for R-Truth after this news. And it's absolute bullshit that you would just release someone like that. Maybe you sign him to a different type of contract, but he should be a lifer in WWE. There's no reason to get rid of him. The guy, listen, I say it all the time. There's a lot of people on fucking rosters, AEW, TNA, WWE, where it's like, I don't understand why they're paying you for what you do, because they barely use you. So what's the point? But there's ways to go about it where you don't just fucking rip someone's livelihood out. And that's what they're doing for R-Truth. No fucking reason to do it other than this big conglomerate of a company all of a sudden needs to start penny pinching. It's fucking bullshit. It pisses me off, and it sucks that's happened to R-Truth. I agree 100% with Donnie. I couldn't believe when Carlito came back. And then to only just put him in Judgment Day to be on TV for 3 minutes and make a quip. But that's what you fucking decided to do. If you don't want to do that, then fucking use them better. How about that? But sign them to deals and let them be used and keep fucking paying them, because you're making a ton of fucking money. There's no reason to get rid of these people.
Yeah, tell him. Tell this fucking WWE fucking pussy. Tell him. You got it.
I just said that they
You
should
got
have
it,
kept our
pussy.
truth.
Got him. Great job, BJ. Real
And by
proud
the
of you.
way,
Yeah.
there are times, and BG is very mad that they let people go, and I'm mad that they let R-Truth go. But there are times where a contract expires, just like in anything, and you're not really using them, and you're just best letting them go and do something else.
Again,
Which is the case for Carlito, which
I
is the
agree
case
with
for
that.
Valhalla. I think R-Truth, it's not in that category because he was used a lot
He
more,
said
a lot more
released.
effectively.
He said he was released.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Wait, how are you?
my
I
assumption-
don't understand how you can think anything else. The person who it happened to is the source that I'm using. You're
Okay.
saying now that a dirt sheet, which you shit on all the time, has it more correct than the guy who talked himself.
Yeah, he used that phrasing.
I can't believe you, dude. You are such a fucking douche.
Okay.
So
I understand
well-
Khalil a lot more. Our truth was just in a fucking program
I know.
with
We know.
John
You're
Cena.
angry. We
You had
understand.
it
We got it.
on
We got
fucking
it, buddy.
SmackDown. What is happening with that? It's so
right.
fucking
Easy.
stupid.
Easy, buddy. It's okay.
No, because
Cake-
my problem.
Here, BJ,
no,
I have a
because-
question. No, BJ, I have a question for you. No, BJ,
here's
stop.
the thing.
BJ,
No.
stop.
No, let me finish. Because you just had a program with John Cena on fucking Saturday Night's Main Event. So over 2 million people saw us. He had a promo the night before where he fucking crushed it. So this guy is money. You're gonna tell me that he can't draw money for you? That makes no fucking sense.
He
I don't care
won't.
what
He's
age
going.
he is.
He's going to draw for AEW instead. So
I
BJ,
did
I
see a tweet that said that R-Truth should show up in TNA and just start asking all the ex-WWE guys, hey, what's going on? Where you been all this time?
okay. So here's the deal.
Yeah, what do
BJ,
you wanna
I'm
say?
going to ask you if you would be interested in this. And I'm not saying I want this or this should happen, but this was my first thought as soon as it happened. R-Truth shows up in AEW, shows up on Dynamite. He comes out, he's kind of doing the same, like, gimmick that he was doing in WWE. It's fun.
I really
and
don't
shit.
want him to do that.
But
I
hold
want
on.
him to be
No,
fucking
listen.
the truth.
But listen, he comes out, he's doing the gimmick and shit. Like, there's something like that. Maybe Tony Khan's out there, like, celebrating him, and he beats the fuck out of Tony Khan, and he cuts
Why?
another Ricky
Can
the
we
Steam.
not with the beating the fuck out of Tony Khan anymore?
Come on. It's
Yeah,
good
no,
shit.
no
I love
beating
it.
of Tony
Didn't
Khan.
work.
I love
I don't want
Tony-
Tony Khan on the show ever.
But I'd like him to cut a promo super serious, almost like the Ricky
That's what I
Steamboat
want.
promo in TNA.
Yes, I've been asking for that for 23 years.
So listen, I just think it's a really cool opportunity. If you could do that, that would be like it would give him, I think, maybe some career closure because he saw how Sting was treated. So
It shouldn't be.
no,
Go to TNA.
I want him to go to AEW and I want him to cut a promo against WWE.
No, we
I want
don't
him
need
to- I want
WWE
him to
fucking
shit on
promos in other companies.
I want it. Well, no,
I think him and
Actually,
TNA would
he's
be
not gonna
cool
go to
considering
TNA
that's where he
because-
was at his peak.
I guess it would be a little awkward to go to TNA after you release from WWE and they have a partnership. But yes, I
I mean,
agree. he
Ziggler
should-
did it.
not out of necessity. He was the TNA, then they signed
He
with
went to New
WWE.
Japan. Like he
Yeah.
he
All
waited
right,
a while.
well, listen,
also.
guys, there's a lot we have to get to, not a lot of time. What?
Yeah, but real quick, Abaddon and Bear Bronson contracts expired with AEW. Donnie thoughts?
Wow.
No, it's like I said it's exactly the same. Listen, if you're not using the person and there's no hard feelings and you're just done with them, then let the contract expire. Let them go to another company. You know, that's probably where they're going to try to go. So, like, I
That's
understand.
what WWE did also, though. Just
Yeah.
so we're clear.
And that's why I'm not mad about this. I'm more mad
Not with
about
Truth.
R-Truth.
Truth.
I
should've been
I
the
think
same,
he was
but I'm saying.
released. But regardless, I think R-Truth should just still be with WWE. So when it comes to I'm okay with, listen, let a contract expire. If the person asks to be released and you release them, release a statement as well saying this person asked to be released and we gave him his chance to leave or whatever that is. And
See, I'll
also,
say this about
hold on, I'm
WWE.
going to say something a little controversial right now, Mike, and maybe you don't believe this, but I do. If you are under contract to me and I know that you want, like Phoenix, I'm okay with you being like, fuck you, you owe me time, you're staying here. I know you may, it's like, okay, it's petty, but WWE always did it and WCW always did it. It's always been a thing in wrestling. I don't want you to go work for the competition. If you're actively pretty much seeking out the competition when you're under contract to me, and I'm going to be petty right back. So that never hurt my feelings like it hurt
But
other
that
people's
whole thing with Phoenix, like actively seeking out the competition when you're under contract, that's the same thing you're accusing me of, is taking the dirt sheet's word for it with our truth. You're taking the dirt sheet's word for it with
He put
Phoenix.
himself in a jacket and behind bars while he was still working at AEW. Regardless, he's still working there.
They extended his contract. That was way after.
But he's still working there. I don't give a shit if
he's not working there because they weren't using him.
If I sign
they benched him for like a year.
Yo, WWE's done that shit to a bunch of
don't
people. Are
support
you
that.
kidding me?
I definitely don't support benches.
Are you kidding me?
Who have they benched for a year?
If you
Maybe
fucking
Omos?
you put some,
use Omos.
hold on a minute. If you sign a fucking contract with me, I haven't. You are with me till the end of that contract. I use you how I fucking want to. You don't fucking tell me. If you sign a contract, you live up to that.
Cute. That's so cute. You always fucking shit on me and call me like big business, Mike, and all this shit. You're way worse.
Hold on a minute. No, that's just signing a contract. If I sign a contract, hold on. If I sign a contract,
but don't fucking bench them for a year.
Okay. If I sign a contract with the fucking Buffalo Bills, I'm your star defensive end. But I want to get traded to the Philadelphia Eagles because it's a better organization with better people, right? And I'm talking about how I want to be traded. I'm not playing unless you do this. And then you bench me for what, we come to an agreement, like Le'Veon Bell. It happens, dude. It does. And I just don't think, in wrestling, I think they're hard on WWE.
Literally, the Le'Veon Bell thing, that's the last time we'll hold out, like, last of the season like that. And that was, like, 12 years ago.
Yeah, because that's not true. Hassan Reddick, but.
So it doesn't happen.
And Bryce Huff.
Yeah, but
Bryce Huff pretty much did it this year too, if we're honest.
So it doesn't happen very often.
Okay, so let's get to the.
Can I just say something real quick before we go?
Oh God, it's gonna be a long.
It's fucking pathetic.
Is it about Abaddon?
No. Old WWE.
I like
when
her.
You cut somebody, you fucking put a statement out. You announced that shit.
What was it? What's it? Best wishes. Future endeavors.
No, future endeavors. That was on WWE.com every fucking month, every fucking year after WrestleMania. It would be on there because they cut a whole bunch of people's. But now it's that they fucking use Sean Ross to put shit out, or the wrestlers are doing it them fucking selves. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why I did that.
That's what I wanted to say.
Great point. TKO is
AEW does that too, by the way. Don.
TKO is sucking the life out of WWE. It's just such a business now, and the corporate ads everywhere, and it's really not the same product.
Do you have any other Twitter hot takes to fire off? You want to get them out now?
I'm just being honest. It's just the product is not as good. Listen, I don't miss Kevin Dunn at all. So the camera work, stellar. Beyond that, a lot of shit is not as good as it used to be. Sorry, bud.
Used to be as in when?
Used
like
to be
a year ago, I agree. If you're talking like Vince in 2018 or something, I don't agree.
I would say like COVID days and a couple years past, like 2020 to 2023.
No.
It's not as good now.
There was good things at
all right, listen.
There's a lot of bullshit.
We got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's get into the most important thing. AE Double or Nothing, baby!
Most important thing is Money in the Bank.
You said confirmed card here. It was May 25th, but it already happened. What a show. We're going to rapid fire through this because it was the best thing that happened in all of wrestling since
we're not doing that. We're doing the Money in the Bank preview.
What?
We're doing the Money in the Bank preview.
Dude, no, dude, Double or Nothing's right here. I'm already down on the scroll thing, dude.
No, it makes no sense to do that because we're doing all the shows that happened while we were gone in a row.
We start off with Mercedes Moné, though.
Why do you just destroy my schedule?
Because it was stupid.
Dude, we always
it should have been in chronological order, dude.
We always lead off with.
And that's not. You're not even doing it right then. That's the last one.
No. We start with the one that was since we've been gone. Did you hear me do the thing? The since we've been gone thing. This is stupid. Money in the Bank or whatever. Get your D'Lo Brown heads out. Fucking who cares?
Why? You talking about TKO sucking the joy out of WWE? You suck the joy out of this fucking podcast every time you open your mouth.
Sucking the joy out of something sounds wonderful.
He was actually wrong with chronologically because NXT would have been before that.
That's what I was saying.
Main event would have been long before that.
Main event? There ain't nobody watching that shit. Actually, there's better shit on main event than some of your Raw and SmackDown matches, if we're honest.
You're not being honest.
I am. Dude, I saw Sol Rocca was on that shit. I saw all kinds of fucking good people on there. Sol Rocca. Like Rocka-Rolla?
Like Antonino Rocca?
So, guys, D'Lo Brown's loosen up your necks. Crack your sternums. Feel it in your chest bones. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. Solo, could you make it smaller next time? I gotta move the computer because it's get fucked closest. I feel like my father. I need different glasses for this. Solo, Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, El Grande, Americano in Chad Gable boots. Scandalous.
Did you see his tweet?
No, what did he say?
So people were talking about how he had the CG boots, and Gable tweeted, "Congratulations to my buddy El Grande Americano. I lent him my boots because his got lost at the airport. But great job, hombre."
I keep thinking it's gonna jump the shark. I'm like, this is.
I cannot believe there is people that don't like this. They're called people that hate fun.
Yeah, I keep thinking it's gonna jump the shark because look. Most things like this run their course.
It is
right?
the shark, though. Like,
No. Most things, listen.
The whole point of this is it's supposed to be fucking stupid.
Yes, be honest. Most things like this do run their course and then they end and it's over, right?
So obviously you can't do this fucking forever.
I know. But what I'm saying is,
the last time we got something kind of like this was Elias and Ezekiel, and we fucking loved that from start to finish.
Well, towards the end that started to suck. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be like that. It did.
Oh, Kevin Owens.
You guys won't just be in mine. Honestly, can I say one more quick controversial thing? Oh, I hate to make the show longer. Bronson Reed doesn't work for me with them. Oh, it makes the group worse, and I almost don't like it anymore.
Totally disagree with that. I thought you liked Bronson Reed.
I do like Bronson Reed. I do like Bronson Reed, but I felt like they needed more oomph, and he ain't it, man. And
he is oomph. He's fucking huge.
I know. I meant in terms of star power. He's pretty.
So who would you have replaced it with?
I don't know to make it better. Like usually they're like, who would you make? You don't have a good replacement, so your point's invalid. That's not true. I don't have a better replacement, but for me, Bronson Reed ain't it.
JC Mateo and Bronson Reed.
No, what if it was Drew McIntyre?
That would make no sense. Taking time off.
Yeah, because he's so depressed at how he's being booked. I just needed someone
Drew
with a little
and
more
Seth
pop.
have so much beef.
All right, well, I'm just saying, I needed someone with a little more
I totally disagree with the premise that you needed more star power. Seth is the star power. He's the leader.
I also kind of don't love Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman together. They don't seem to have the chemistry as like Heyman and Roman or Heyman and Punk. Honestly, Heyman really anybody, dude.
I don't think the point is them having. It's like it's not that they're like Roman and Paul Heyman was like a family type thing. That's not what Seth and Heyman is. It's like a business type thing.
Okay,
it's a totally different.
Sure. I just don't think it works for me like that. I don't have the same like pizzazz that I thought it would. It did at first. I was like, oh shit, look at all this. It's all new, it's all fresh, and it's cool. And as I've been watching through it, and they've added Bronson and the interactions with Paul and Seth, doesn't hit for me like I thought it would. But I love these pieces, right? I want to love it, and it's not really hitting for me as I thought it would. So, I know. Just had to vent that there.
I think, to me, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker is a very cool duo. Like, two big fucking badasses to back up Seth. I think it's a good choice. And I think Bronson Reed was doing the best work of his career right before he got injured. So I think he deserves that spot, and I think he'll be good in that spot.
You know who should have been in this spot? I got a name. You wanted a name. I got a name.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman.
No, he's fired.
Yikes.
You wanted a name. You got one.
DG, what were you going to say?
Pick a winner. No, make him pick a winner. Oh, my God. Right. Pick a winner.
This one, to me, it got a little murkier. That's the word of the day. A little murky on Raw, because I thought Punk was going to win that qualifier.
Yep.
And he was going to kind of try to counteract Seth in the match. Mm-hmm. Now El Grande Americano's in. So I think there's definitely going to be outside interference because Seth's guys are not on the actual card, Punk's not on the actual card, Sammy's on the actual card. So I think all these guys get involved in this match, and the potential's there for that chaos to kind of like screw Seth over. Leading up to it, like before last night, I was 100% positive Seth was winning this because they did the whole promo, which was great, with Seth kind of explaining why he needed to win Money in the Bank, that he was going to have just unparalleled power if he had Money in the Bank. He was going to basically be the puppet master of the company because he would have both world titles under his control, essentially, because he has Money in the Bank. I thought that was great. I was like, it's obvious that they're telling us he's going to win, but still fine because it's going to be a fun story coming out of it. this gives me a little pause that maybe Punk's going to screw him, but I'll say that, like, maybe amid the chaos, maybe Sammy accidentally does something that helps Seth, because they're doing this thing with Sammy where it's definitely making me think that he's going to end up I think he's definitely going to. We thought he was going to go with them at Saturday Night's Main Event. It didn't happen. I still think it's going to happen. I think maybe this is how they get closer to that, where Sammy does something that ends up helping Seth wins. Punk gets suspicious of Sammy. Sammy eventually does turn and join up with Seth's group. So I think that's how Seth ends up winning, because nobody else in this match, to me, feels like somebody they would go with to win.
So from the bottom of my heart, Sammy's turn, I think, is the I still think Seth and Paul, their relationship, or not the relationship, but like their interaction, the chemistry doesn't feel there like it does with other people. But I think me liking this group, if you add Sammy to this group, right, and in a good role, fitting well, cutting the promos, and I see the big guys more as like a duo, them together, okay, I think I can be a little bit more into this. But right now, I'm just, it's just not hitting for me. But I love that idea. I actually will 100% go with Seth Rollins for the reason you just said. BJ?
Just like the most bizarre field, I feel like. it's
I'm
so
bizarre.
Weird. Yeah. When El Grande Americano won, my instinct was like, oh, something will happen at Worlds Collide to where then he's not in the match, and they'll maybe have like a last chance qualifier or something, and then like Punk or Sammy gets in. But the more I think about it, like, it's probably just not going to happen. They'll probably just have Chad Gable wrestle twice.
Well, dude, they're trying to. That's why there's so much Latino representation in this match. You got Penta, Andrade, and El Grande Americano.
I mean,
I love how like Cole was like, and Chad Gable's gonna pull double duty, and,
Right.
and Matthew's like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, he's not. Chad Gable's gonna be on Worlds Collide.
Yeah. It would be really cool for Penta to win. We love Penta here. We've loved him for since 2014. Like, this dude's fucking awesome, and he has been pushed well. LA Knight would be cool. I can't see Solo winning it. I can't see Andrade winning it. As much as we love El Grande Americano, I don't think he wins it. So then it's between Penta and Seth. I do like the idea of Seth getting screwed over by Punk or Sammy. To me, I was upset when it wasn't Punk in the match, but the more I think about it, it's like, at this point in CM Punk's career, his injury history, do you really want him in a fucking Money in the
I
Bank
think
match?
that's 100%.
Probably.
He's paper mache, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
So,
it's 100% why they didn't do it.
what would be fun, like you said, Mike, ton of interference. To me, I want to go back to the whole, like, when Drew McIntyre was going after the championship, and CM Punk was like, over my fucking dead body are you getting this championship. No matter what I have to do, I'll fucking do, make sure you don't. And so to me, get CM Punk in here to screw over Seth Rollins. And maybe, Mike, that's where Sami Zayn also comes in. He accidentally, like, does something to CM Punk that helps Seth Rollins win it. That would be pretty fun.
That's what he said.
That's what
That's what he
I'll
just
say
said.
Seth
And
Rollins.
I echoed it.
I'll say Seth Rollins. I don't think I'll probably be rooting for
Mike,
Penta.
we like your idea, bud. We all did. We all took what you said. Does that make you feel good? It should. Let's go over to the girl side. Ooh.
Dude, how awesome it would be if El Grande Americano won Money in the Bank, though.
I don't
I'll
actually
be
think it'll be
honest
that
with you,
good.
if Seth doesn't win, I kind of feel like El Grande Americano would win, because I would like Penta or LA Knight. I just don't get the vibe they'll go with them. Like, they definitely won't go with Solo or Andrade. To me, if you gave me like a second choice, I'd probably say El Grande Americano.
I'd want
But,
Solo
like,
and then I'd want.
LA Knight winning and then challenging Cena would be really cool.
It would be cool, although he'd fucking lose.
Probably.
When is this happening? Jey Uso versus
Saturday.
Gunther? That's Saturday night?
Oh, that's on Raw.
Oh, Jey Uso and Gunther's on next Raw.
We're just
It's on Raw.
giving that away?
Not
It's
getting
so
away.
weird.
They announced it weeks ago.
And that always, like, irritated me.
I don't know if I like that. Because Gunther's just going to lose, right?
I think Goldberg is factoring in here.
My assumption
Let's
is Gunther does not win
go.
the championship.
The greatest
Now
star
you're hyped.
of the Attitude Era is back, dude. Let's go. Gunther-
Either Goldberg factors in here,
Or Sami
or-
Zayn.
Seth wins Money in the Bank and cashes in right here 2 days later. One or the other.
See, Mike, that
gotta
always
get
made
it
me
off
mad
Uso
about
because that
this.
brain rot yeet shit ain't working.
Mike, this made me so mad when they announced a few weeks ago. Because if you're Gunther, I want my championship match well before Money in the Bank happens. I want to know who has the briefcase, this and that. I don't want it
Yeah,
afterwards.
that's true, I guess.
Like, it's so stupid.
Maybe he was cool with it because he figures Jay will get his ass beat at Money in the Bank.
Let's talk
Probably.
about the Goyles. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Giulia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vacour.
I love that
NXT
field.
crushing.
Yeah,
That's a great field.
that's a
This
very
is stacked.
stacked field. Who
This
did
is
you say?
perfect, like,
Hold on.
mix of, like,
Did you say
veterans
NXT's
and
crushing?
up-and-comers.
Yeah.
What-
Roxanne
Giulia
Perez,
and-
Julia, and Stephanie from NXT just now.
Giulia
came
and
up.
They took them all
Stephanie
from,
Vacour.
they built them all from the ground up, Don.
They
not
walked
what
there
I'm
and they
saying.
walked
That's
in,
not what
had
I'm
a
saying.
cup
No,
of
that's what I'm
coffee,
saying.
and walked in, dude. What are we
That's not
talking
what I'm
about
saying.
here?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they came just from NXT and finally they're actually positioned. Because usually they're fucking not.
No, you're right. And I thought that's one thing about Triple H. Hey, didn't add that to my list. Good. I thought
wasn't
that
saying
would have
NXT,
changed.
like, made,
But man, it has.
Giulia's going to win that U.S. title in like a week, it looks like.
Uh,
Or maybe at Evolution.
that'd be awesome.
do we know what
Dude,
happened to
Stephanie
Bianca
should win
Belair?
fucking IC title.
She's got
Evolution.
broken fingers, man.
I mean,
Who?
listen, dude, wrap him up.
Bianca.
What the fuck you talking about? Wrap him
Oh.
up, man.
She was just on SmackDown this week. I know you
You
weren't.
didn't
Broke
see the
watch.
special entrance?
No, I actually did not. I was 2 times speeding through everything this week.
Nice. We got how's gonna shake out. Alexa, they've been teasing Alexa Bliss for weeks on this. That she's gonna cash in on Tiffy.
To me, I think, honestly,
Feels like a
probably
little
the
too obvious,
least
no?
likely. I think she's the least likely.
You just
winner.
don't like Alexa Bliss, I'm realizing, dude.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Dude, I've long liked Alexa Bliss. What are you talking about?
Fucking
Long
relax, dude. Yo, fucking George
long
Cruz over here.
I'm
I
not-
was just saying a thing. You fucking almost punched me over the table because of it. You're like, the fuck you say all over, dude? Fucking holy shit. Write her a fucking 4-part tweet. Holy shit.
This is gonna be match of the night.
I agree,
Oh, no.
100%.
This-
I'm kind
and
of
the-
torn. I'm kind of torn between two choices.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be, like, I don't think it's gonna be Julia because I think
I
she's
agree.
getting the U.S. title. I don't think it's gonna be Rhea. She doesn't need it.
I agree.
I don't think it's gonna be Alexa because she really doesn't need it and she's done it before.
Mhm.
Stephanie is a maybe, but she just got
Mhm.
called up. So
Mhm.
I'm really between Roxanne and Naomi. Naomi, I just did a tease with Tiffany, which
Mhm.
really made me think she's a very strong. She's also done a great job with her heel character. Really enjoyed it, and she just did a tease with Tiffany where she was like, "Don't think I forgot that when I was going for the title when Nia had it, you were
Mhm.
screwing me over every step of the way. And if I get Money in the Bank, I'm taking that title from you." So that really put her on my radar as a potential winner. Roxanne, I could see also though because obviously they had her as the runner-up in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Mhm.
So you would think they think very highly of her. That would
They
give her
should.
some really good direction. So I think it's between them two. I'm going to go with Naomi just because you already have the built-in story and you know what the direction's going to be. So I feel like they're going to go in that direction. But I think I would slightly prefer Roxanne just because she's new. But I think Naomi would be a great choice too.
I can see Jade screwing over Naomi. They still have
Yeah,
all
that could
this
happen.
beef, and so I can see that happening. Mike, Roxanne Perez is my choice. My thing with that is, like you said, Alexa's won it, doesn't really need it. Rhea Ripley definitely doesn't need it. It's great that she's in here for the power moves, but she is champion for so long. We don't need her with the money back briefcase right now. Julia, I agree, probably going after the U.S. Championship. Then it's between Stephanie and Roxanne. Between those two, Stephanie has so much, as the kids now say, Donnie, aura. Whereas I feel like Roxanne needs Money in the Bank and will be a better fit for it right now with her character. She's a little sneaky backstage with Judgment Day. What's going on? What's her motive there? And with the way that she was brought in compared to the way Stephanie and Julia brought in, I think Roxanne just needs something. Giulia. I think Roxanne needs something, and of all these people, she would benefit most, because Naomi did just recently turn heel. She's doing a great job. She does already have it built in with Tiffy, and I think you just go have a championship match at that point. I think Roxanne, it's a much better fit for her.
Can I jump in here with a little thing
Yeah.
that I just started Googling while you guys were talking?
Googling on Giulia?
No. Googling on Roxanne Perez. If she were to win,
Oh.
she would become the youngest
There we go. That's all you
champion
need.
I could've told you that.
in this modern WWE Women's Championship
That's all
history,
you
right?
need.
So that WWE loves that shit. WWE loves that shit. So I'm going to say we let Roxanne
Who's the
Perez.
current? Is it somebody they want to erase from history?
Oh, it was Paige before, but that was the Divas Championship. With this one, I'm just looking down the list, and she's
There was
younger
definitely a
than-
time where they probably would have wanted to erase Paige, which they'll probably bring her back for Evolution, so they want to erase
Yeah,
her.
they want
I
to
think Roxanne wins and cashes in at Evolution.
Okay.
That'd be a
Cool.
huge moment at Evolution.
So you'll definitely
On-
create that moment, yeah.
On Tiffy or on EO?
No, it would be Tiffany
EO.
Stratton. No, I think it would be Tiffany
No, if
Stratton.
Roxanne Perez, honestly, at this point, no matter who wins it, I think it happens at Evolution. So regardless.
Okay.
Cool. That works for me. Look at us just agreeing. Just three guys agreeing on what's going on.
There you go.
Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso against John Cena and Logan Paul. I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be a bad place to cash in. You main event that match.
Cash it on Cena or Jay?
Jay.
Okay.
Because listen, let's say Seth Rollins. Let's say Seth Rollins wins that Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I
and
wouldn't
then
mind that,
then this
actually.
main events, right?
That would be.
It's
Yeah.
knock
Let me
down.
just tell you this,
Hold on,
Tommy.
real quick.
That
I
would
would
be so
save
fucking
this.
dumb.
Knock down,
No.
knock down, drag out, right? And
No.
it's at
You're
the
wrong.
end. At the end, it's Jey
You know what? It
Uso.
won't happen because he's facing Gunther anyways on Raw.
Look, Jey
That's
Uso.
what I'm saying. It'd be so dumb. Why? If you're Seth Rollins,
Triple
you
threat
would wait
match.
for Gunther. No,
Triple
you would
threat
wait for Gunther
Come on,
to beat or lose to Jay, then cash it. Why would you want to go win the championship from Jay on Saturday and then face after you win Money in the
Right.
Bank, then go face Gunther? It just wouldn't make sense.
Take the path of least resistance.
Exactly. Thank you.
Jey
So Donnie's
Uso
just a
and
fucking
Jey
moron.
Uso and John Cena both laid out in the ring after the match. Here comes Rollins. He's looking at who?
Both?
He's looking at
That'd
who?
be cool.
Pins them
And
both, dude.
CM
Fucking
Punk.
come on.
That would be
dude.
pretty awesome.
That would be awesome.
Come
That-
on.
Okay, you know what? I'm back in. That
They're
would be
laying
great.
next to each other, and he just does that big ass frog splash on the both of them
Yeah.
at the same
Hell
time.
yeah, dude.
No, it
And then
does-
double stomps him.
No, you know what? He's all about that body core strength. He's planking across both bodies, shoulders pinned, boom. 2 simultaneous pinfalls. Have 2 referees come down. Have a ref bump at some point, and they're looking at each other as they're both counting 3. Like, what the fuck? Right?
Dude,
Like, who won?
It
And
won't
then-
happen because John Cena is the heel champion. That's the ruin wrestling. But that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. Come on. I have good ideas. I just don't
But
get
you
And then
can't,
he
but technically
puts
you
one
can't.
of the
You can
titles
only
on the
cash-
line against Sammy, and they do
Tech-
Finger Poke of Doom, and Sammy wins,
No,
and
fuck,
they're buddies.
fuck that shit. He splits up John Cena's title back into the 2 championships it was before. Remember
Now you
that?
have 3.
Now we got 3?
Now he's got 3 of them. Now all the boys get one.
Is this Ultimate Dragon picture?
Yes, listen, that'd be a good Rollins thing of having championship.
Even though Money in the Bank it only lets you cash in on 1 championship, right?
I don't know.
Semantics.
Listen, bud, Paul Heyman worked the deets for me.
There
That's
you
why
go,
he's
he
there,
changed it.
okay? That's why he's there.
Oh,
Lie-
white out doesn't.
Lia Valkyria against Becky Lynch.
Wait,
This is a
who do you got
giant.
in that tag team match? I got Cody and Jay,
Oh.
so they can build the fucking Cody Cena again.
Yeah, Logan Paul's taking a
Yeah.
pinfall loss.
I could see Cody pinning Cena, honestly.
Travis Scott will probably interfere.
Cody
No,
will punch him. in
No,
the head.
Cody pins Logan Paul. John Cena beats Logan Paul up.
No, because that
That's
would
not
get him
happening.
babyface.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's not
I don't
happening.
know. Not in the mainstream. They love the
Yes,
guy.
it would.
I think Travis Scott interferes. So does Roman come back?
Can I tell you something? Travis Scott needs to get the fuck off my TV.
I agree, but he's definitely.
I
gonna be here.
hate that this dude's involved in any form or fashion.
I would assume that Cody and Jay win.
I think Roman.
You should be happy that
the
the rumor was that fucking Travis Scott was actually going to be in the match for a while.
Mhm.
Well, guess what? That would have made my life a lot easier because I wouldn't have watched the match. I would have been like, or I would have watched it and been like, meh, the whole time.
I like that
You
there's
gotta
only
watch
4
the
matches on the
fucking
show.
wrestler, yeah.
At least Logan Paul puts in the effort to try to be a wrestler, as opposed. It's just spot monk, but at least he's trying. This fucking Travis Scott dude he gives like fucking Hugh Jackman. Actually, you know, Hugh Jackman's punch was awesome. Like I
Yeah,
can't
it
even
was
compare it to levels that it's this bad. He gives Larry the Cable Guy level expertise of wrestling here. I'm gonna lay a punch
Is
in
Larry the
on
Cable
you.
Guy not a good wrestler?
Remember he came to Raw one time and he's like, I'll lay a punch on you so hard your mama's gonna feel it or something like
He
that.
was in Jingle All the Way too, which for whatever reason was a WWE Films production.
Because it was Santino was in it, remember?
I know he was.
We
It
retro
was
back.
really bad.
They bought what it was is WWE Studios bought like the franchise and they're like, well, we're gonna revive it. And boy,
And it
did
has
they.
nothing to do with the original Jingle All the Way.
Did
in
you
any
get
way.
Did you get Arnold? It's like no.
No.
You
No.
got
We got
Larry the
Santino.
Cable Guy. And they're like, oh fuck, dude. And listen, Lia Valkyria and Becky Lynch in a Cody Rhodes and AEW type stipulation over here. Where, okay, you explain it and then...
Oh no, she can't go for the Intercontinental
That's
Championship
what it is,
again
dude.
if Lyra has it.
Yeah.
Oh no. I think Lyra
PJ
wins though.
I don't think AEW created that. I think that's been a thing in wrestling for like decades.
Listen, but we never talked about it more than when we do his stupid Cody Rhodes and his fucking attitude towards the World Championship. Go ahead.
I think Becky wins here. I think the reason they built like this was give Lyra a win over her to make it mean more when Becky finally does beat her, so that Lyra doesn't come out of this feud like a loser. She actually got a win. And then I think you do the post-match thing where Becky's kind of humiliating Lyra to force her to raise her hand and congratulate her. Bayley shows up and kind of blows up the whole situation, attacks Becky, and then you can kind of build to either Becky versus Bayley for the IC title at Evolution, or maybe make it a triple threat with Lyra also involved.
Yeah, I'm okay with Lyra going and doing something else. I'll just take Becky versus Bayley, please.
That would be my preference, yeah.
Yeah, I would be rooting for Becky here. I don't know. It's like when you put the last chance stipulation on, it just feels like it's so obvious that I feel like they had to swerve us. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Becky win.
What? I don't know.
Like I could see Becky winning, and then you do Stephanie against Becky, and then Stephanie wins the championship over Becky.
What if Lyra
At
wins
Evolution.
because Bayley interferes?
That's possible, but I like the idea better of Bayley
Well,
saving
listen, 'cause
Lyra.
well,
from
Because then they
But
could do a
here's-
triple threat at night.
Well, here's the thing. Becky Lynch might never go for the Intercontinental Championship ever again. Right?
Right, like who cares?
So,
it doesn't even matter. It's only as long
if
as
she
Lyra's
loses
champion.
this loser leaves town type stipulation, it probably makes Lyra look a lot better.
Yeah.
And Becky can just fight fucking Bayley at Evolution with nothing on the line, and we still care a lot about it.
Yeah,
The title adds nothing to that match for me.
I agree.
So give it to Lyra. Let her keep it. Okay, that was great. We did great there. Let's go and talk about Worlds Collide real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, hi.
Legado del Fantasma against Io del Wagner Jr., Pagano,
Dude.
and Psycho Clown. Okay?
Dude.
Now we can
Elio
see me.
Dr. Wagner Jr., Dr. Wagner's son!
Okay.
Or something.
Which means Dr. Wagner will be in attendance. If there's a God in
Your
heaven,
boy.
you're calling John Bon Jovi, you're getting bad medicine, and you're giving me what the fucking people want, dude. Tony Khan would do it. Nick Khan, will you? Think about it.
No, he will not.
I know, but I need that shit so bad in my life, dude. But I love Dr. Wagner. Dr. Wagner Jr. So for me, I don't know a lot about him. BJ, do you want to know why I was a Dr. Wagner fan?
Didn't you go like to that mask show?
Mass Mania.
Yeah, no, but it was before that. I got a Lucha
His
Libre.
body?
I got a Lucha Libre video game from the Goodwill.
Oh, I remember that.
From the
I remember that
Goodwill,
game.
and on the front
Yeah.
was Dr. Wagner Jr.
remember.
And I
That was on
like,
PS3, right?
Ooh, don't remember. Don't remember what it was
Pretty
on,
sure.
but I remember his. And I
It was a
remember
triple A game.
it was really, really bad. But
Yeah.
I
I feel like it wasn't
Dr.
the
Wagner
same
Jr.
engine maybe as like the TNA Impact game.
I forget.
wanna say.
I honestly forget details of it, but I just remember the front cover because it was just
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like, oh, I got a wrestling game of the thing, I'm gonna go play it, and it sucked.
And
But-
then he was in Lucha Underground for a hot minute.
yeah, but I got to watch a lot of the. I began like, hey, because YouTube's around by then, so I'm like, let me get into this more. And the first thing you hear is the opening riffs of John Bon Jovi and fucking ripping across with fucking Bad Medicine. It's so cool. Chicks in nurse
They got
outfits,
terrible
dude.
reviews.
Dude, it was so fucking great, man. I loved him. He hit me at the right time in my life. I was like, damn, dude, I can do cool as shit. So,
I think his son and the Psycho Circus win this match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Psycho Circus, super popular in Mexico.
Chuck Pagano, man.
Hijo del Vikingo against Chad Gable. Hey, that's the AEW guy.
Chuck
right?
Pagano.
Vikingo.
Yeah.
He was in AEW a bunch. He's awesome.
I think
dude.
it's
He's not gonna slap.
Vikino. I was corrected by something I heard.
Oh, well, I don't give a shit about any of that.
Okay.
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, dude, it was a great match. Him and
this is
Chad
gonna be
Gable
better.
is going to be a banger, like a motherfucker.
This
Yeah.
should be awesome.
Don't do that.
Vikino
Look,
wins. I
hey,
think.
BJ, don't do that.
Vikino
Don't be like him. Those times
He
are
just
special.
beat Del
Don't ruin
Rio
them.
for the title the other day.
Yeah, because they don't want Del Rio.
That's 100%.
They do not want Alberto Del Rio, they're
Smart.
like, we are not letting you come in here.
Very
That's
smart.
part of the
One of
thing.
the most boring wrestlers of all
They
time.
literally, before Del Rio even dropped the title for him, they just put the graphic up there like,
That was
Makino
amazing.
versus Gable for the AAA
Bro.
Mega Championship.
Yep.
Meltz cried so
I
hard
know.
about that.
Well, it's because he wants you to play the game.
Triple H?
You know what? I would have loved to see like Alberto Del Rio's not playing ball. Vikingo gets him in a fucking sharpshooter. Bang, bang, bang. We gotta tap out, dude. Oh shit. The Santa Fe screw
Triple H calls
job.
for the bell.
The Mexico City
Rio's
screw
not
job,
playing
dude. Hell yeah, dude.
Threatens to go to
Hell
AEW.
yeah. This is good shit. You're welcome. Yeah, just say that. Ethan Page versus Javon
He says
Evans.
he's going to AEW, but AEW's like, no thanks.
Right? Tony Khan's like, nah, I'm good.
He writes MLW in the air because it's the only company that'll take him.
Fuck
You
yeah.
can join our Dijak and Baron Corbin stable.
He's like Contra unit out.
Oh my
Bam.
God,
Like-
George is the only person that pops.
Yeah, and Court Bauer. Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix wins.
I was just thinking that would be really cool.
I think
'Cause he
he's
doesn't
in
really have a
Baker
fucking-
because he literally just won it like last week.
Nah, I'm over it. I'm
okay.
already. Hey, guess what? Already
I
over
agree.
it.
It's Ethan Page.
I'm already over it. Stephanie Vacour and Lola Vice versus Chico Menta and Daisy. What is it?
Dalise.
Alice. So I saw. Yo,
I in there.
let me tell you something. I saw pictures.
like it.
I
It's
saw
just-
Hold on. I saw
Okay,
pictures.
but there's still a Y before the S.
I saw one. I
just
saw.
talking
Hey,
about it.
listen. I saw pictures, and there's one reason this match is happening. It's for George Cruz's respect factor through the roof. For the
I
first,
think George, believe it or not, George is not fond of Latinas.
that's simply not Jim. That's simply
He likes-
impossible.
yes, it
First
is.
off,
He likes
look
blonde
at me. Look at me. Simply impossible.
I'm just saying,
just
PG,
for the
that's
record.
how, am I right?
No, for the record.
Yeah,
Well, guess what? That
yeah.
leaves more room for me because there's a big respect
Right.
factor happening here. Okay.
Absolutely.
Top
I
to
mean,
bottom.
Stephanie is going to win.
Stephanie and Lola
Yes.
win for sure.
Yes, of
She's
course.
not losing. Crazy that this is on the same fucking day as Money in the Bank.
Stephanie pulling double duty.
Yeah, her and well, Chad Gable's not.
No, Chad Gable's not. What are you talking about?
Yeah, don't be stupid. And the LWO against Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana.
Aerostar,
Wait a
baby. Get hyped.
Oh,
We love it.
Octagon Jr. I love Octagon Jr. He's really, really good. I know nothing of Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana. It was hilarious.
Is this a
They
guy?
read
Is
that-
this someone I should know?
Yo, for
They
a
were
second,
reading the
they
ma-
said
they were
Mr.
reading the
Iguana,
match
and then it was
graphic
S.A.
and-
Rios.
McAfee's like, Mr. Iguana is gonna be a problem.
Okay. From the
my
from the bottom of my heart.
Yo, we do love Aerostar though.
Of course. Of course.
During my
though it's been
Lucha
12
Underground
years since we
rewatch,
watched them.
like we loved him then, but I gained even greater appreciation for him during like the rewatch, like because you don't really talk about him. You're talking about like Phoenix and
Yeah.
and Penta
He
and
was a
Mil
huge part of
Muertes
what
and
they
Matanza.
did. He took
He
off.
was like there
the
like the
roof.
whole time having
He came
bangers.
from space.
Him and Drago had an incredible best of 7 series.
Oh, his
Oh, yeah.
Dragos. Oh my God, that series was incredible, dude. And
Mhm.
you know what?
Yep.
Remember,
Man,
can I tell
Lucha's
you
the
something?
best.
I gotta tell you something. One of my fondest Lucha memories is the end of season 1 when they're leaving. And
Yes!
they're all leaving their own way. And Aerostar takes off from the roof. He's like, see you later,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
It's
Like,
like a little
bam!
sparks
He's
coming out of his
rocketed off the
boots.
roof and shit, dude.
Yep.
You got
What an
fucking,
insane show.
one of my,
Drago like walked off into like a fucking ring of fire.
dude, still forever,
Okay.
the greatest trio in recorded history. Ivelisse, Son of
Yeah.
Havoc, and
And
Helico. And them leaving, they're on dirt bikes and his motorcycle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's so fucking fun. That's
And
such
then
a-
King Cuerno like was in his he was like kind of stalking like Mill, and he was in his car and he was wearing his little cowboy hat and his little cowboy shirt.
I like it. I miss
Yeah.
it so much.
Dude, I'm almost through season 3.
Damn.
Season
okay.
4 was only 20 episodes.
Yeah,
so I'm getting near the
season
end.
season 3 was pretty average comparatively. Good moments, but
it was
bad-
very good.
Listen,
I think it was season 4 that was.
No,
more
no.
Season
no,
4
no.
was the worst by far.
Season 3 wasn't as good as the first 2, and it was about the moments, and there was the ebb and the flow. There was some shit that we didn't like in between
Wait, what?
there. But the first 2 seasons, there was nothing we didn't like, except for when like
Season
Blue Demon
3?
showed
Wait,
up.
was season 3 with Vampiro and Pentagon?
No, that was
No,
season
that's
2.
season 1.
Oh, that was season 1?
Yeah.
That was season 1?
yeah.
Dude,
Season
season
three
one.
is
Nobody's
Holy
in the
shit.
Wild Wings. No one's demanding fucking hardcore death matches on Wild Wings TVs. No one does life like I do, bud.
Watching it back, season 3 is pretty close to on par with the first 2 seasons. I haven't gotten to 4 yet, but 4 was definitely not even close to the
All right,
first
yeah,
3.
you know, Mr.
Like season
Remember.
3 is what I just watched. The episode I just watched is when Johnny Mundo, because he's gonna be facing Ray, beat the fuck out of Dominic in the crowd.
Oh, I
Holy
remember
shit.
that.
Oh, that's why you like it so much. It's so WWE friendly now.
Well, and there's gonna be Hell of War is gonna be coming up too. That's season 3.
Oh my
Oh
god.
shit, that was
That's
a great
season
match,
3.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's an
AR
iconic
Fox and fucking Swerve. Woo!
Yep.
Still shot.
God
Excuse
damn it.
yourself.
Yep.
I
Like,
said what I said.
Season 3 is good. Season 3 is good. Oh, and
Hell of War.
do you remember how we used to always have the argument? BG, me and you would say Katrina's not a ghost,
Yes.
and Donnie would say Katrina is a ghost.
She is
Yeah,
a
she's just
ghost.
fucking fast.
So she goes to she goes to the FBI office with the lady, and we find out like that they're both immortal, and the lady is her mom. Do you remember like the lady like Cortez
That's insane.
Castro?
Yes, I do.
from
This is
I
a
actually remember
wrestling
that.
show.
Yeah.
undercover FBI. Anyways, Katrina says like, I'm stuck between two realms, like a ghost. So she confirmed
so
she was
she's not
not
a ghost.
a ghost.
Wow.
No, she's a
Donnie,
ghost.
you're
But that's what a
missing out on
ghost
details.
If she was a ghost, she would say, I am a ghost. She
Listen,
said,
they didn't.
You know what,
Look, I got.
Donnie, you would've had something- If you
They
would've
didn't
said
pay
that's what a
Maxine
ghost
for her
would say,
for her
you would've
fucking
had us.
thoughts. Okay. I'm not listening to her ghost analysis. Her mom's like, listen, dummy, you are a ghost. That's the whole shtick here.
No, they're just both immortal.
I'm not doing this. She's a ghost. There are certain hills you're allowed to die on in life. Weirdly enough, this is one for me. Let me have this. Saturday night's main event. It happened, and I watched it quickly. Thankfully, without ads, this was like, it flew by.
Yeah, it was only
Yeah.
a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
Without ads, it felt like I was there for 45
I thought it was a pretty
minutes.
good show.
It was
Yeah, it
mid.
was solid.
It was mid. I didn't
Really?
think it was that great.
Huh.
The first match
Okay.
was pretty fun. And that was pretty
Yeah.
much the end for me. So, Seth Rollins,
Drew and Priest was really good.
I'm tired of that, and I'm tired of how they treat
Well,
Drew
it's over.
McIntyre. I
He's
hate
taking
it.
time off once
I
again.
hate what they've done to Drew McIntyre. It kills my heart in a way.
What's the accent?
I don't know. Just that's my true feelings. That's my true thoughts. My inner voice
His redneck
is
comes out.
is a southern man with chew in his lip.
You saw the most lethal 619 since Ray killed somebody?
Dude, she almost ripped Chelsea Green's nose off her face.
She fucked it up and then just basically like, I'll just knee her in the face.
Yeah.
Dude, forget that knee. That was a kick. She shinned her in the face, but that was brutal.
Mhm.
I would have been so
It's
mad.
sad
I'd be
'cause
like,
I
why'd you
like
do that?
Zelina. I like Zelina, but
So
her
mad.
fucking reign is not hitting. She
No.
sparked up
Her
that
matches
match.
suck.
It's a
dude.
shame because she is great, but
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I don't know
I
what's
think she's
going
a
on.
better talker, and she does flips as a manager is fine. I think
Julia's
as
grabbing that belt.
as an individual performer, I think she's overrated, and they only gave her the title to get Aleister Black back. Ooh, I hate to say it, but I did.
I think he was coming back regardless.
Yeah, I think that was already pretty
Nope,
much done.
nope. He said, "I'm not coming back without a title reign for my wife," or whatever he sounds like.
Okay. Doesn't sound like that at all.
You look at his glasses, you'd think he would, though. Yeah, we talked about Zelina Vega's fucking up. John Cena beat R-Truth and then got him fired. True burial.
Maybe it was a
JC
John Cena
Mateo,
call. Maybe it was a John
actually.
Cena call.
Kind of fired.
JC Mateo got him fired?
Yeah, he just beat him. Or
That's
something.
true. His last match was against JC Mateo,
Okay.
and R-Truth left us with an incredible last moment where he said backstage he asked Solo if JC Mateo was his son, and then he said he was husky.
That's what got him fired. He made a fat joke, and now he fucked up. Got canned.
It's like, is that your son? He's
Uh,
like 10 years older than Solo.
Jey Uso and Logan Paul in all the time they deserved match, and still somehow too much. It could have been 3 minutes shorter, to be honest with you, and this was nothing. So I'm gonna go first. Favorite match was the first one. Moment was Zelina Vega kicking that lady for no fucking good reason. And overall
That was
grade,
your
I'm
favorite
gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Stop bothering me with this dumb shit.
My favorite match was Priest and McIntyre. And Dottie, since you probably didn't even listen to the commentary, just fast forward to it.
It's
You
very
should go
true.
back and listen to Jesse Ventura, because he was fucking going off about how you shouldn't be able to walk out the door in a cage match.
That's one of the dumbest rules I've ever heard.
Pretty much.
I don't understand why you would allow him to do that. Lock the door.
But then people were posting a clip from a cage match in 1989. I think it was Boss Man and Hogan. And he was like, Boss Man
Just
should
use
just walk
the
out the
door.
door.
The door's right there. It's not
Yeah,
even
that's
locked.
what
Get out there.
it was.
So from the bottom of my heart, though, he's a heel commentator. He is absolutely inconsistent. Bobby Heenan, you could go through Bobby Heenan's life. He's yelled on both sides of the events in the same speech. You're talking about both sides of his mouth.
True.
So he's a heel commentator. And honestly, I've never wanted to go back and watch something in WWE. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll believe you.
Cole, you could tell, was getting like pissed and just trying to move on from it.
Yeah.
He kept going on and on.
Well, he used to piss off Gorilla. Remember how, just would you? He would you? He would always would you. He fucking like.
Will you stop?
You could almost hear him like rolling papers up to hit him and shit. Like it was awesome.
But yeah, that's my favorite match. Favorite moment is R-Truth's entrance coming out in the John Cena gear with the Ron Cena shirt.
Yeah.
Overall grade, give it like a 6 out of 10.
That's stupid as shit. BJ?
I agree. I agree with the grade. My favorite match was the opener. Crowd was very hot for that.
That was a
versus
great
CM
match.
Punk and Sammy.
I didn't say it was great, but I said it was best of the night, which was a bad night. So.
I said it was great to see them tag.
No, I was talking to him, not you. Keep going, please.
Okay.
Double time.
Yeah, I'm done.
Good, should be. NXT Battleground. I only watched 2 matches. So.
Which ones?
Stephanie McCool and Jordan Grace and Obafemi
Good match.
and Miles Bourne.
Oh, you need to watch
Oh,
Ruka
then you
and
should have.
Kalani.
Yeah, you should have watched the opener because that may be the best match of the night.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just, no offense to the Goyles. I watched one already. And I had to get one of the boys. I like Obafemi. I do think
Obafemi's awesome.
Obafemi's got top star material on the main roster, I believe. I like Miles Bourne too, actually. I think he's pretty good.
Trick and Henry was fun too, I thought.
Yeah, I enjoyed that too. I actually thought it was a good show.
There's
7 out of 10.
only so much
Yeah,
time.
I was going to give it a 7 also.
The fucking 6-man tag match did not need to be on this card.
No, I agree with that.
That was.
I will say this, Mike, and I'm sorry in advance. Do not get mad at me. Promise me you won't get mad.
I can't make a
Promise me you won't get mad. Okay?
I'll get mad for you. How about that?
Okay, there you go. I like Hank and Tank.
DG.
Oh, that's
I
fucking dumb.
do. They have
Of all the things!
a little bit of Otis and
because
the other
they're
guy.
overweight.
What was his name?
Hey,
Heavy
yeah, I've been
Machinery?
saying since day one they're knockoff Heavy Machinery.
No, but
Exactly.
they're like that.
Okay.
I like them. Listen.
No.
There's no Otis in that group. Nor
Heavy
Hank
Machinery was
nor
only good
Tank
because of
is
Otis.
Otis.
I hate them.
I
Yeah,
like
they
Hank.
are-
I like Hank and
This
Tank a
is
little
Shawn
bit,
Michaels'
dude.
biggest blunder
I
as a
agree.
booker.
I agree.
It's really pissing me off, to be honest.
It's hard for me to pick favorite match because both the women's matches were awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll give a slight nod to Stephanie and Jordan because it was more like pure wrestling,
Mhm.
but the athletic display of Sol Ruka and Kalani was pretty awesome. My favorite moment, Trick winning the TNA title.
Hell
Like,
yeah, that was great.
people would have never thought that a fucking WWE wrestler would win the TNA title, so it's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
A monumental pay-per-view, Donnie. How about that?
It's
7 out of 10.
unbelievable.
And then Trick was on TNA via satellite, and he's like, "Yeah, I decided not to show up because you tried to fly me in coach and all this shit." You're
Holy
just
shit!
being
He
an
did. He
asshole."
hold on.
That's funny.
Hold on a minute. So NXT blatantly ripping off AEW's story of using TNA and treating them like shit. Holy shit! That's wild to see, dude.
That's
Trick
great.
is
Treat him
literally
like shit.
Trick is literally doing the Kenny Omega.
TNA's gotten way more of a spotlight in WWE than they ever did in AEW.
That's not fucking
By
true,
far.
dude. I had
100%
I had
true.
fucking Kenny Omega.
They
on
main evented
TNA,
a
dude.
pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean Kenny Omega and
Joe Hendry
Christian.
was at
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
As
No.
champion.
That's different. That's not a championship match. That's different.
Okay,
Okay,
but he
it's
was
still
champion.
On WrestleMania.
I would argue that Joe Hendry's moment wasn't as big as Mickey James' moment in the Royal Rumble. I think that was more impactful.
No, because that was an
I
outside.
said what I said, motherfucker. You can't know my
You're wrong.
opinion.
Why would you say that?
Because it's my opinion?
Because he loves being
No,
wrong.
I'm asking you to like kind of explain.
Okay, I think that more
Is it
people
because it was the
know
first?
Mickey James and it was the first. And it's the Royal
So I just
Rumble, and
gave you
she's
the answer.
entering it, and it's it's a big surprise. It was fun, and
It was a
Joanne's being a
surprise.
big
They
surprise.
announced
All right, guys, let's talk AEW.
Fucking moron.
Did
You make this show so much worse.
That's not, dude. Let me tell you something. We took a poll. That's not true. 9 out of 10 people fucking
What did you
love
ask
me,
Tommy
dude.
and Lucy?
I know.
No, but that's not true.
No, I used our. Hold on, real
9
quick.
out of 10 doctors.
Someone on the Facebook page made a Ring Rust Radio.
Oh yeah.
A chat bot thing, like a chat GPT, but it's based on Ring Rust Radio, right? Did you see this?
No.
And
Yeah, Dave and Kevin.
The guy's like, Donnie's good, but Dave and Kevin can get lost or something like that.
That's supposed to be us?
I
That's
did laugh
supposed
my
to
ass
be
off.
you
Yeah.
guys.
We're Dave and Kevin.
Whoever was talking to him, honestly, I want to talk. Honestly, that should be a segment on the
Cartwright?
show.
Who's Cartwright? I'm
Cartwright?
Cartwright. I'm Dave and Kevin.
So I honestly think I'm going to try to make a
who?
segment on the show where we talk to AI about ourselves, and just say like, well, what do you think of BJ? Like, Kevin, he's pretty good. I can't wait to do it.
I gotta step in for a second because I just saw a tweet. All 10 seasons of the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series are available to stream for free on Tubi.
What?
Ooh, Tubi,
Yeah.
game changer shit.
Let's
I won't watch it. That
fucking
show
go.
sucked. That show was
What?
Are you fucking kidding
show
me?
is
You like
fucking-
Ninja Turtles. What are you talking
I don't
about?
even know what to say to you right now.
Why are you turning heel on Ninja Turtles of all things?
I gotta tell you right now.
Because he didn't have
It's
them.
because Donnie was a dweeb, and I'm done with it, dude. I'm done hearing it. I don't want to fucking have to deal with it
Are
anymore.
you talking about
What do you mean
yourself,
he was a
Donnie? You
dweeb?
dweeb?
No, Donnie and the Turtles.
Oh.
I never liked
What?
them. I've never been my thing, and honestly, I could take them.
These girls are one of the
Michelangelo's
coolest
a party
things
dude,
ever.
so I like to.
Party dudes. Big fan of party dudes. You know that.
There you are.
How about Brandon the turtle?
Brandon! Yo, BJ, does it suck not having a fucking turtle? Huh? Mike, how's your turtle doing? Like pizza over there, bud?
Hell
Huh?
yeah.
Huh? Guess what I like? Learning. Educating myself.
I'll
What are
be
you
right
doing
back.
over there?
This time next week, we're gonna be introducing Leonardo Galvin on the show. He changed his name legally.
Yeah, right, dude. Let's be totally honest, dude. Living in the rat-covered New York streets, you're Splinter, dude. At best. At best. Guess where Splinter lived? Manhattan. Coincidence? Probably.
They all lived in Manhattan.
Not true. They came from all 5 boroughs.
Yes, it
April
is
was
true.
the 5th.
What are you talking
That's
about?
not true.
Wait, I think I'm getting my movies confused.
That's not canon.
I think that's the Warriors. All right, let's get into this. We're going to talk about AEW. So what happened this weekend? What was it called? Actually, it was last weekend, wasn't it? Oh,
Double or Nothing.
God.
What, Double or Nothing you're talking about?
Yeah. So here's the thing. BJ, I can click on these now and make them bigger.
I don't know.
Wow.
Whatever you want.
Look at that. I can look. BJ, Mike, click
Oh
on it.
yeah.
They get
You can
bigger.
click on it.
They get bigger.
Could we always click on
You could.
it?
I don't
could've
know. I
always
don't
done that.
feel like we could have done that.
Oh my god, we could have always
Literally
done
always.
that.
No, that's not true. He just did something. Now he's trying to blame
No, I
us.
didn't.
You're a
Everything's
piece of
the
shit,
same.
dude. I see
No,
right through
everything's
your
the same.
ruse.
The whole
So,
year. The
It's
same
just
Wow.
like when AEW signs a random person and all their fans say this is a game changer. This is a true
This
game
is
changer.
I took my glasses off. I'm free. I don't feel like I look like a
Wow,
80
look at
wonder.
the size of this font.
Wow. Wow.
It's pretty good,
Just
I guess.
incredible. Mike,
Just
you got to move the
incredible.
mouse to get to the exit out of the screen, though. It's confusing. Hold on a minute. I see a
you
little.
gotta press
Hold
that
on.
big X
Oh,
there.
no. Mike, there's a little arrow on the left side. Look, you can just scroll through them.
Oh, download.
Oh my God. Game changer. Just like AEW is in the wrestling industry. Mercedes Moné against Jamie Hayter. Mike somehow talk shit on this.
Oh, this was a really good match. I liked
Don't
it, but
do that. It was a great match. Better than any of the Goyles matches I saw in WWE since we were last here.
I do not agree. I thought
That's not true at all.
I thought Jordan and Stephanie was better.
No
than this, but
way.
This was,
No way.
Yeah,
Are you
100%.
kidding me? No,
This
it's
wasn't
a
simply,
match.
simply not true. Opinions
true,
can't be
but-
wrong. Yours was just wrong.
It's true, but this is an excellent match. This isn't even like top 10 of Mercedes matches in AEW, but it's still a great match.
This was a really good match. Really, really, really good match. Better than any of the Goyle stuff that WWE did, for sure. BJ?
I just told you one that it
I
wasn't.
know. You were wrong, and I said no. That's opinion saying no.
BG, what do you think?
I don't think it's better than either of the matches at NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you hate girls. FTR.
He said he's talking about girls.
FTR defeated Daniel Garcia, the Buffalo legend,
Needlessly
Why
long
was
match
this
here.
on
and
the
Nigel
fucking show?
McGuinness.
22 and a half minutes. What the fuck?
This is why I was watching wrestling till almost 1 a.m. that night.
I have
'Cause
to
this
tell
was
you.
22
I have to
minutes.
tell you from the bottom of my heart, Mike.
It's a mid-card
No,
dynamite match. It's on
BJ,
fucking
BJ,
pay-per-view.
BJ, you can sit this one out because you're not grown enough to understand this. Mike, I want to talk directly to you on
Shut
this
the
one.
fuck up.
Okay,
I'm grown enough.
you are grown enough because you claim to
Congrats.
be, in actuality, what you are is the world's largest hypocrite. Because you love
I'm
to
allowed
tell
to
me
say
about
this happened.
storytelling. You love to tell me about in-ring, old school performances. Okay? If FTR, Nigel, and Daniel Garcia didn't do it for you, then you're a liar to yourself.
Daniel
because
Garcia
it
has
had
never done it for anyone besides
anything.
George.
That's not true, dude. He's dancing into my heart.
Daniel
Has for
Garcia
years.
blows, man. I'm sorry.
Dude.
And you can't blame me and say like, oh, this is because he's an AEW. You know Donnie. Admit it.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Way
No,
before
you've,
he was ever in
you've
AEW.
been wrong for a
I
long
told you,
time.
I saw him live, and I'm like, I do not get the hype with this guy. This
You-
guy's
I
not that
remember-
good.
no,
I don't
you
understand
said-
why people are saying this guy's great.
You said
I
he
was
carried a
right.
red towel, and you didn't understand why.
Yeah, red towel,
Good
and he
red
got
towel.
wrapped to the ring, and it was so bad that like he was supposed to be a babyface, but people were kind of like booing.
Well, rap will do that to you. I don't know what to
the fuck
say.
up.
It's
This is
just
bad
not
rap.
good. It's just not good. Okay, Ricochet
Just like this
defeated
match.
Mark Briscoe. Tell me it wasn't worth it.
It was a good match.
This is a
but
super fun match.
to me,
dude.
it's like, again, this is another match that I don't think had to be on the card.
Okay,
and
okay.
It's like,
It's for the rest of the thing, just say it like, just judge it for what it is. You say it doesn't deserve to be on the card. That's not true. This is a great match and it deserved to be here.
Okay, how about this? Late in the night, they fucking undersell this entire match by Mark Briscoe coming back out and doing flips off the fucking
Right.
stage.
First off, dude, he's fucking country tough. Do you see his teeth?
Fighting
we got this
spirit.
fucking bloody stretcher match, and then later in the night we got even more fucking
Anarchy
just
in the
raid
arena.
hardcore.
Yeah,
Fucking
that's-
ain't right, dude. We're gonna get to
Like,
it.
they
Shut the
just-
fuck up. Shut the
they-
fuck up. You're gonna ruin it.
They
Hurt-
overshadow their own shit all the time.
Hurt Syndicate. Okay.
This
They
absolutely
defeated
did not
the
need
Sons
Why
it.
of
are we
Texas.
doing every fucking
I will
match on
say this
that?
to you
We don't
because
need
this
to.
is the best one. That's what I waited for. This is what I watch with my. Listen, I don't watch. You guys watch WWE with an intensity. I don't. Okay, it's casual.
What the fuck does that
I
mean?
watch
And we do not
AEW
watch it
with an
intensely.
intensity. Okay, I watch AEW
just
with
watch it
intensity. Okay,
Normally.
Dustin Rhodes, I watch at normal speed. That's intense.
You like
dude.
fucking stare at the screen with your eyeballs popping out when AEW's on?
You ever see,
Hard
Like
on?
fucking
You ever
Ren
see
Stimpy?
you ever see Clockwork Orange where they like
Yes.
prop open their
Uh-huh.
fucking eyes and shit?
Yeah.
Yes, that's me in
Great
AEW
movie.
every time, dude.
I believe that actually.
So yeah, but listen, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara rightfully lose. That was a fun match though. I love Dustin Rhodes. And Sammy Guevara is good as shit at flipping, dude.
Oh, dude.
Speedball Mike Bailey impressed you. I know it. Came out in a loss against Okada, but I know he impressed you. He kicks so clean. Can I say that?
Good match. This probably could have been a Dynamite main event.
Nah, man, this is pay-per-view worthy, dude. 16 minutes, dude. Clean and crisp.
I'm
Do you-
fine with this.
BJ, I haven't gotten your opinion. Speedball Mike Bailey. Where you at
Yes.
on there?
It's good hand.
Good hand?
Good hand. Hell of a hand.
Do you think you think he's Steve Blackman, or you think he's more like,
No.
got attitude?
What? Steve
Nothing
Blackman.
like Steve Blackman.
You didn't like Steve Blackman?
I love
I
Steve
love
Blackman.
Steve Blackman.
I should have mentioned him in a future email.
He's nothing like Steve Blackman, though.
That's
They
not
don't-
true. He's a fucking
Yeah.
trained killer.
Just because he does karate shit.
He's a
doesn't mean
trained
like
killer.
Steve
He's a
Blackman.
fucking multiple-time black belt. Multiple.
You remember
I'm
that
sorry.
show that
Steve
he was supposed to
Blackman
have?
would fucking kill this man.
Remember that bounty show?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
I wish that would have happened.
Yeah, we were ready to fucking commit to that. That would have been
Yeah.
Patreon content, but nobody paid WWE to do it. Time to slide that in there. Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, classic cinema. Also, not
So
too
that-
long, not too long.
Perfect.
Mwah, chef's kiss, and the ending, chef's kiss.
A lot of people thought
Literally.
Mariah May was coming back during this on.
Mm.
No, we said she was gone weeks ago, didn't we?
No, but there were fans that were
George.
delusional and thought she was coming back.
Yeah,
No,
George.
it's always been timeless Tony Storm against fucking Mercedes Moné. And let's see how Hulk Hogan Mercedes Moné treats timeless Tony Storm up here coming, brother. Because I got a feeling. Hold on. I got a feeling there's a leg drop.
A big fat L.
I was gonna say,
Mercedes is winning that.
yeah,
match.
big
Yeah,
time,
definitely.
right? We're about to get leg dropped, dude. Timeless Tony Storm, you had a good run, brother. That leg drop. I'm
How you
actually.
feeling about Mariah, by the way, Don?
Can I tell you? I mean, listen. I thought her performances with Timeless Tony Storm were fucking awesome. Some of the best storytelling around. I give a lot of credit to Tony Storm because she's done it with other people. Where the run with Mariah May wasn't as good as it was with Timeless Tony Storm. It's just how it is. I think that she's got plenty of talent, and she'll excel in WWE because they care about looks more than in-ring ability.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Her and Tony was one of the best women's matches AEW ever had.
Oh, well, I understand
It was
that,
the
and they're finally getting a woman who's can wrestle a little bit. It's nice, good start.
It's a big
I'm sorry,
loss
wait.
for AEW.
Wait. WWE's finally getting a woman who can wrestle a little bit. Is that what you
Another
said?
woman because they have
WWE
honestly they've been stacking
it's
up
not
the
even-
last
it's not
week or
even
two.
like there's no debate to be had. There's no question about it. WWE has the best women's division. Like, end of story.
They signed Julia, they signed Stephanie McCour. Like, okay, they're making
Yeah.
up for lost time.
And
I
they
got it.
added them all to an already
Lost time.
amazing roster.
Yeah, it's it's fine. There's a little
Jordan Grace, don't forget.
Anarchy in the Arena. Let's talk about
Match
it for
of the
a
night
second.
to me.
This, can I say something to you? Take away all of your bullshit. Take away all of your preconceptions. Everybody who watches
Just like the Rock
wrestling,
promo on
listen,
John Cena.
everybody who watches wrestling from a fucking tribalistic point of view, walk it off.
You?
Walk it the fuck off and just watch this match.
Donnie, George.
Just watch
Yeah,
this
that's
match. Just no, I mean this. Shut
Else?
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Just watch, Dave. Just watch this match in a vacuum
Kevin?
and love it, dude. This match was so much dumb fun, and these matches always are. Like from the first one when they fucking everything they did. Listen, are there moments of time in these matches where shit does not make sense?
Yes.
Always. Okay, remember the one
There
time
was a
Matt
really
Hardy was
big one in this
drowned?
Match. It was still my match of the night.
But listen, remember the
Yeah.
time they drowned Matt Hardy and then he came back to life or something? Come on, there was some things.
that was technically Stadium Stampede, right?
That
yeah,
was Stadium Stampede.
that was Stadium Stampede.
I like Stadium Stampede more than
Yeah, that was
Arcade
fun.
Listen.
Anarchy in the Arena, I'll say this. The last couple before this one, I thought were not that great. There was a lot of dumb shit. Yes, there was dumb shit in this one, but I thought the action was a lot better
Yeah.
and more entertaining.
The
Like,
music playing
I
the
feel
whole
like-
time also funny.
I feel like a big part of it is like who was chosen. Like you got like legit ass kickers like Samoa Joe and like Shibata and shit in there, which made it fun. And like having women involved in it for the first time was cool. Willow was awesome, obviously.
Yeah.
It let the bodies hit the floor. Playing in
The
background
whole
was
time
fun.
until it finally
I have
cuts. That
two-
was so fucking fun.
I have two gripes.
Okay, go ahead.
Is one of them the ambulance?
No. Well, actually, that was really fucking dumb. Why didn't they just go out the front door?
That's probably my biggest gripe. Is for like 10 minutes they're holding the
Yeah,
ambulance
that was
door
so
open
stupid.
after putting the fucking Death Riders in there. It's like, yeah, go through like one of the other doors or like try to get out maybe.
Yeah, that was really dumb. So I have three gripes.
They were recouping.
Uh,
It was
my-
a rest period.
My other
For
two
10
gripes.
minutes?
Listen, dude, you ever rolled? John knows you got a break. Get some water.
My other two gripes. The Young Bucks entrance was awesome, but I did not like them wrestling in the attire. I thought it made it just such a joke. And then my-
They are a joke, so that
That
didn't
is true.
really
They
bother
do.
me.
My final gripe.
They do quite lean into that stuff. And while it's not always my
it was
favorite,
fine for the entrance,
it's
but like
fun.
take it off.
it was dumb as shit. And I loved it.
The entrance was very funny though. My final gripe is that it took Swerve like 2 minutes to put these shoes on, and really halted that ending.
Okay, here's the deal. Yes,
Like do something.
Slide 'em
like,
on, Prep.
Yeah, do something so that this is quicker, or like have Kenny Omega beat the fuck out of whoever for a little bit while you're doing that. But that was it. Otherwise, very fun.
disbelief was properly suspended for this match. So
What I
we
love
all-
about Stadium Stampede and Anarchy in the Arena, and this goes to our love for the cinematic matches, is just the camera work where you have to follow all this action. They put multiple screens up. It's just very fun, very chaotic. So I like that.
Yeah, multiple fights at one time. The action is like nonstop. You're kind of like, it's always the middle of a fight somewhere, so you're keeping
Yeah.
your eyes going. And honestly, it's really well.
And
they're
we've
usually
always
really well done.
loved we've always loved action going all over a stadium, into the crowd, the backstage
Ever since those
area.
bunkhouse brawls, right, Mike?
Yeah, bunkhouse.
There you
How
go.
about Bunkhouse Buck? He was in some bunkhouse brawls.
He was. He literally was created out of the idea of that bunkhouse brawl.
I do think, and the one aspect that I've always liked about it since they started doing it was playing the music for the entire time. Like, I just think it adds, like, a very fun atmosphere to it.
It reminds me of ECW when fucking New Jack would come out, because you just had that shit blaring the whole fucking time they're wrestling.
That's probably where Tony Khan got it from, because he was the ECW mark.
Yeah, I see it. But yes, awesome match there. And then we go to the trios match. Short and sweet. Hold on, short and sweet. Short, no.
Short and sweet?
Yeah.
13 minutes.
Yeah,
13 minutes!
Yeah, this
Did
was
not
All
need to
because
be on
we
this
had
show.
to get fucking Tanahashi on the show.
And stop trying to tell me that Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly and Ryder Strong are called fucking Paragon.
That's their
More.
decision. I do not support it. I am a
This
supportive
should
friend.
not have
I
been
am
on the
a
show.
supportive friend. I think you've made a ill-fated decision, sir.
If you took out the tag team match with FTR and this match, you put it on fucking Dynamite, this is a much better show.
I'm
This
not.
was too
I don't.
long.
I don't
Go
take length.
fuck
away.
yourself.
I don't take
It
length
was-
away
Don't
from
say
it.
it.
It was
too long.
past 12:30, which is ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, 12:30 p.m. for me. I did it in the morning.
It was 11:45 starting the main event that you knew was going to go about 40 minutes.
and it did.
That's bullshit.
Deservedly so, though. That does not take away from the main event for me, because watching
Oh,
the
no,
main
only the last 15 minutes of that fucking main event took away from the main event.
no,
They
absolutely.
bastardized all their fucking moves. Bastardized other people's moves.
No.
This match, what was such a great match, turned into such a fuckery that
Yeah,
pissed
can I
me
get-
off.
Donnie, so you could wax poetic to finish it off.
Please.
I'll get my shot out of the way here,
Yeah,
too.
get your shit in. Mikey
I never
Cage.
take away from what Ospreay is capable of doing, because he's one of the most amazing athletes in ring.
Yes.
But you've seen one Ospreay match, you have seen every Ospreay match. 100%. Because, and, you know, Dave, I think, gave this fucking 5.5 stars.
No shit. Is that for real?
Yeah, he did.
That's for
This fucking guy. Can I tell you something? My first thought, too low. That's too low.
I
for
thought
him.
it was going to be higher.
Too low for
I
him,
think
you know what I
Mike-
mean?
I
Like,
think he's
people
gonna go
wax and
with
poetic.
7
This
stars.
to me was nowhere near as good or fun as Anarchy in the Arena was. The match was good, but as VG mentioned, like, there were so many sequences that should have ended the match, and it's just kicking, like, every match, Ospreay has to get his fucking spot in, where he gets dropped on the back of his fucking head and his neck, and he just stands up and screams to the rafters and no-sells it. Like, that shit sucks.
That's lat
man.
work, brother.
I'm
That's
sorry.
lat work. Okay?
That shit
You
sucks.
don't understand that. You're protecting your neck.
Dude.
Mike Tyson. Let me tell you about this little fucking neck.
I know all about
And
Mike
Wu-Tang. There were 3 spots in the final 15 minutes where it should have ended the match, and they had things that were
And you
happening.
bid on each one, you
No.
little fucking
Well,
mark.
Because there were 2 of them that absolutely should have ended because they were great spots. Instead, what we got was this final spot that was not nearly as good at things that happened earlier in the match, and it took away from it. It's just fucking dumb. You don't need to kick out of 90,000 moves to have a fucking great match.
Okay, so
It's stupid.
is the floor mine
It's
now?
just a cheap ploy to get more stars.
It's basically, yes, they spam for stars is what they
Exactly.
do.
That's
Spam
what they
for
do.
Dave
If you've
stars.
ever
Like,
played
you know
WWE
what?
games,
if we just make this
that's
40
true, you
minutes
have to.
long and just go nonstop and kick out everything, Dave's going to give us 5.5 stars.
Let me tell you something. Me and BJ have played some wrestling games, and that's true in video games too. Like we're like having a great match. We're like, should we take it home? And we're like, dude, we're at 3.5 stars. Let's get some shit in at the end. You know what I mean? That's
You
real
gotta
life.
impress Dave.
We've done that shit, dude. And even in the video game, all you're doing is trying to impress Dave. It's unbelievable.
so true.
It's
It was funny that
unbelievable.
that's in the game.
It's literally part of all the video games. So here's I'm gonna say this to start off with, and I'm gonna acknowledge my own weakness. Okay, and this is something, you know me, I'm going through therapy, a lot of therapy. I go see
What?
people. Yeah, I go
You
through
do
a lot
more.
of.
You do a lot more now.
I go to a lot of therapy, man. It's been great for me. I'm doing really good.
I don't think that's true at all, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ospreay is not your flavor.
thing is,
Hold
that's
up,
not true, though.
No. Here's the thing. You can acknowledge that from an in-ring perspective, he may be one of the most talented people of this generation, maybe ever. Right? He does things in the ring that are unbelievable.
I don't deny his talent.
Right?
for
But
sure.
right, it's when you see like a pitcher, you know he's got all the tools, and you're just like, why are you throwing it there? I wouldn't
You
even
need a
throw it down
producer, is
here,
all I
right?
need.
So here's the deal. Many people have told this man to slow down. He ain't going to slow down. This is how he does it. So he's not your flavor. And that's okay. He is my flavor. I understand that when I get this match, we're kicking out of 155 finishers. And for me, that's okay for this match because I know what Will Ospreay is. For me, I think here's the thing. That's his style. Like that's his, he's bringing you into his
It's
realm.
not a style. That's a stupid.
Okay, listen.
You
I
devalue all your moves.
You say that.
It's poor psychology.
Okay, you could say it's poor psychology. You could say
It is.
devalues moves, and both of those
That-
could be correct. But
do you think it's
hold on. But BJ, there is a piece of me who absolutely adores old Japanese wrestling, where what he does was
That's
big
not it.
part of what they did. The
That's not
no
it.
selling, the fighting spirit is a huge part of what they, and I'm not just talking the New Japan we watched together, the New Japan that I've watched going back days, and the stuff, I like that. A lot of the deathmatch stuff is no selling stuff, and coming back from shit you shouldn't have to. Like, you should have died, right? Oh my god, now, but you're back now? Okay, so here's the deal. You don't have to like Will Ospreay, but if you're going to try to enjoy his matches, I think you have to understand what they're going to be like. Like, it's just
Well,
like
I do understand.
If you go to if you go to a comedy movie, you expect to laugh. If you go to a movie that's a drama, you're like, I may cry, right? So when you go into BJ, I'm not saying you have to. You obviously hate the devaluing of finishes. I know the value of the finishes. You don't like that. But to me,
Yeah, but
I'm watching his
easy
matches.
Solution. It's an easy. I've said
He's
it
not
time
going
and
to
time
slow
again.
down. He said it. He's not.
That's
gonna
not
slow
my
down.
problem. That's not my problem. My problem is the devaluing moves and just kicking out of things.
I know,
just because
motherfucker. You won't
wanna
shut the fuck
have-
up about it. I get it. You don't
Right,
like
but
the
you're not-
devaluing
you're
moves.
missing
It
the point,
doesn't
though. The
bother
point
me.
is, just don't do a fucking cover or have him roll out
No,
the ring.
no,
There's
it's
many
fighting
things that you can
spirit,
do.
and you don't get
No,
it.
that's
You never
fucking
have.
stupid.
You never have gotten it, and that's fine. And I don't expect you to, and I don't even, honestly, I don't even want you to. Me and Dave are fine over here, enjoying our Will Ospreay matches. But again, in all of this, I think what gets lost is Hangman Adam Page rose to the occasion, and maybe we didn't like how the finishers happened and shit like that. He was just as good as Will Ospreay in this moment, and he fucking, honestly, in my opinion, told the fucking better story in the ring. I think Adam Page, again, proves why I fucking like him as much as I do. I think he's the better fucking star of the company for them. I think you should put more on Adam Page. Neither one of them was going to beat John Moxley. So I think I think John Moxley retains it all in.
I think he does too, and then like the supposed goodwill that AEW is building up, that kind of like goes by the wayside because people are gonna be pissed.
No,
I don't. I think Darby's the one always.
Darby's the plan always. Yep, I agree with that. I don't think they backtrack off this too much.
They had to wait for him to get off the fucking mountain.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that made headlines in a lot of places.
People are a lot of happiness over that.
Dude, I can't believe I missed the report, but that's one of the craziest things I ever read.
We'll talk about it.
Backstage reaction to fucking Darby Allin climbing the mountain. I was like, were they mad at him? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, they're happy for him.
Didn't want him to die. Good.
Thank God. There's one guy, though, for sure, like, I hope he fucking eats it. You know it, dude. It was Rusev before they fired his ass. But, yeah, so real quick, I want to talk real quick about All In. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. I may have never been more excited for an AEW women's match.
You hate Mercedes.
Listen, you know that's not true. Ever since you came
No,
over to
no, I don't.
Ever since you came over to
I know
AEW.
it's not true.
Ever since you came to AEW, something about this girl. I like him. I like her cut of her jib. But yeah, definitely Mercedes Moné wins, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
100%, right? And John Moxley and Hangman Page. Did you so we talked about that. Did you think, BJ, that Hangman Page is really going to win there?
I think he
wins. Tough being wrong, though, isn't it?
He's a fake cowboy.
I think Mercedes and Tony main events.
He's a real cowboy.
He's a fake cowboy.
If Hangman is losing, I agree with that. But it's hard for me to. Tony has said specifically, that the boys' title main events his shows. He just said it. So of all the times that this would be to let the ladies have the main dance floor, it would be now.
It's never happened in AEW, right? In a pay-per-view.
I don't think so. No, it's always been the world.
No.
He's been pretty steadfast at world titles. No.
Just like,
He's pretty-
yeah.
But he
Tony
said that the
Mariah-
fucking World
Tony Mariah
Heavyweight
should have main evented
Championship.
a couple pay-per-views ago.
That should
He
we
said-
always said they
Said
should
from
put that.
jump that the World Championship main events the shows. But I'm sorry, but I don't make the rules. Okay, he does. So yeah, can I tell you, All In? I'm all in on All In. That fucking show is shaping up nice, dude. That's the perspective card, because we're gonna get Swerve versus Will Ospreay probably on that card too. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome, dude.
How many finishers did they kick out in that one?
30.
Oh, you know Swerve's into that style too,
Yeah,
so
he loves it.
you know we're getting.
Yeah, they get a staple.
You
on
are
his tongue.
you're gonna be like 35 fucking stars until the last 7 minutes. I dropped 21 of them.
What was the point of
14
like,
stars.
just real
Hell
quick,
yeah, dude. That's
because
Dave's special.
it seemed like they were gonna go Swerve and Hangman against the Young Bucks. So what was the whole fucking point of the Young Bucks showing up and helping Mox and taking out Hangman and Swerve?
Gotta wait to see how it shakes out, partner.
I don't think it is gonna shake out.
They needed 2 people. That's what it was. They needed, you around? We need some star power. You around? Fuck yeah. You need the Jacksons when you need star power, baby. All right. Favorite match, favorite moment overall. Great, Mike.
Favorite match was Anarchy in the Arena. Favorite moment was when the show finally ended at like 12:35 a.m. Eastern Time.
Ignorant.
Grade, I'll give it 7.5. Could have been higher if they would have taken like 2 or 3 matches off the card.
So they did too much.
Way too much.
So you are so fickle.
You're doing too
BJ?
much. You ever heard that? Anybody ever told you that?
No.
I know, because you're bare minimum. Bare minimum Don over here.
That's the second time I've heard that term. Not thrown at me the first time, but definitely thrown at me this time. But honestly, it's a good. I'm gonna start calling people that. I like that. Bare minimum. They had a bare minimum Bob. I saw. BJ? Bare minimum BJ?
My favorite moment was in my favorite match, the ending of Anarchy in the Arena. And 7 out of 10, way too long. Clean it up.
Very
Clean it
stupid.
up.
I don't hold length against anyone. That's
I do.
not my shtick. My favorite match was Hangman Page and Will Ospreay. My favorite
All
moment.
right, Dave.
Listen, dude. Fuck's your problem?
What does it feel like to be wrong?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a blanket statement. Favorite moment was Anarchy in the Arena, and my overall grade is 10.5.
There you go.
0.5, great.
10.5.
Masterclass pay-per-view.
10.5 masterclass. Honestly, I've been giving some 14s to pay-per-view. All in starting with like the 3 matches. It looks like I'm getting starting at a 9.
I don't think you're supposed to start things with a grade before they happen.
I started
you
10
do, yeah.
And go back.
Yeah, well, that's more understandable.
What? How's that more understandable?
Because 10 is the best you could be, so...
But my excitement level depicts what number I am. I'm a 9 out of 10.
Starting at 9 is weird, because it's not the best you could be.
Okay, that's your opinion. I don't call your shit weird. BJ, we have some...
I think
poll
Donnie
results.
meant that his floor is 9.
No. I'm saying my
His
start
floor
the
is
grading
10.
at 9.
His floor is 10.
No, my floor is
His
not 10.
ceiling
My
is
floor
probably
ze-
like 15 or something.
My floor is 0 or negative numbers, probably, if I
that's
hate
never
something
your
enough.
floor for AEW. You grade on a curve.
Mm.
To the left, son. All right.
We had 3 polls about Money in the Bank because we are prepared for Money in the Bank greatness this weekend. So
Yeah, people really seem to flock to our content.
Agreed.
they do. So our first list was, what's the best Money in the Bank cash-in ever? So who do you guys think won the poll?
CM Punk.
No, this is between the 3 of us.
Our lists.
Oh.
I think BG won because he voted for himself. With the
I'm
count.
going to say I won because I'm full of it.
Because you voted for yourself?
You guys are both correct because me and Donnie tied.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So Mike came in dead last.
People over there get shit, dude. They really do, man. I don't know something about them. Also, how sad is it I probably won if BJ hadn't voted for his own ass?
It was probably BG voted for himself and Donnie voted for himself, and that was it.
You can only have one vote.
Listen, besides
one
my
vote.
vote,
BJ
then
takes
only
every time.
4 other people voted. So calm
yeah,
down.
there we go.
Can you guys get on fucking Patreon? You're really being fucking lazy about this, man. Like, we need your help. Do you want us to not do the show anymore?
So
We're
the
going
next
to
one,
die.
Yeah, maybe I want to fucking die if you guys don't do it.
The next list was about the best Money in the Bank pay-per-view matches ever. So you guys think won that top 10
BG.
list?
I'm going to say it's a tie between BJ and me.
No, see, only 2 other people voted for this one. So Donnie came in first. And then me, then Mike is dead last.
2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2. Let's go. Tell me the third one. Only one person voted for this. It was me and I won.
Final one, top 10 list is best Money in the Bank pay-per-views ever.
Donnie and BG tie.
Donnie wins.
You're both correct.
Yeah! Let's go.
Me and
3-3,
Donnie
baby.
tied, and Mike came down.
BJ, the worst part of that is if you didn't vote for yourself, you would also be sitting on the sidelines looking like a jackass.
By the way, I don't know who's voting, who these 2 people were that were voting. The only Donnie fans, I guess.
Hat tip to mom.
Donnie's lists were horrible.
Absolutely horrible. But we do have a couple of comments. Corey Linke on the best cash-ins ever says, Mike gets my pity vote. Can't have him losing with 0 votes again.
Damn, dude.
I also
They
deserved
feel
it.
so bad for you, dude. It's almost a hate crime to beat you now.
And then Jason Silva says, tough to choose a winner here, so I went with who had my favorite match highest, and that was BG with the headquarters Money in the Bank ring. Rust?
Dude,
Damn it.
LOL. Hello, LOL.
I think I had that number 2.
At your only vote being a literal pity vote.
If you want to give us more pity and your money, go to patreon.com/ringrustradio. You can hear the ad-free version of our podcast. You can get early access to upcoming retros. We've done MLW Battle Riot 7. I can't believe no one signs up to hear this early. Plus our top...
seriously, that's a great point, George. Look inward. Maybe our downward spiral is actually caused by you.
Yeah, but we're also doing that we did today. You can hear it early right now. Our top 10 list for SummerSlam best performers ever, the best SummerSlam pay-per-views, and the best SummerSlam pay-per-view matches of all time. But most importantly, sign up right now to join us next week, next Tuesday, June 10th at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're finally doing a Patreon draft again. We're going to do a current era fantasy draft. We're then going to create super cards of all the matches from the wrestlers that we drafted for fans to vote on at patreon.com/ringrustradio. It's been years since we've done this. I'm excited for it. I love when we do the super cards. Hopefully people join us. We now record on Discord.
Yes.
So,
and don't let that sway you. Discord's good.
37 fall Iron Man match again.
Listen, dude, don't get me fucking started. You know I'm about that shit.
That's
I'm about
why
to
you
make
love
you
Will
work
Ospreay.
again. So here's the deal. Number one, BJ, send out an email this time with the proper date. I think that'll help. Also, do me a favor, send that email out now so we can get some responses from people so that motherfucker doesn't sneak up on us again. Number 2, I am going to dominate this. Is it okay to pick, like, Mick Foley and Dude Love?
No, this is current wrestlers, so it's not.
Okay.
It's not all time. It's
Can
current.
I get, like,
Did you just
can
do
take...
a third thing and you said number 2?
Probably.
I wasn't paying attention.
Neither was I. It's just wild, man.
You said like,
All right.
I don't know. It's you're
Just get the email out. I'm trying to make sure we get. Please come out. Listen, and this is an honest plea. Patreon.com/ringrustradio really does help us, pay our bills and stuff like that. And our money on there has gone way down since we did the evergreen content. And I know everybody's like, okay, we wish you were here on a week-to-week basis. Our lives have changed. It's not possible. If there's ideas that you'd like to see that would allow us to get your contribution, please reach out to us. We'll do custom orders and anything like that. We'll do stuff.
Ooh,
anything for
customs?
money.
Some others?
Yeah, like if you want us to do like a special episode of Lucha, or you want us to do
Yeah,
like
that's called Ring Rust Retro, Patreon.
Listen, I'm trying to fucking paint it a different way. We keep saying the same words and it ain't working, pal.
Yeah, nothing's ever worked for us.
Maybe they don't know what Ring
Maybe
Rust
you
Retro
should
is.
leave.
You know what?
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know what? I'm tired of being treated like you.
Mm-hmm. Get the fuck out.
I'm out.
Peace.
Get out of here.
Peace.
Bye.
We got this.
Guess what? I'm here,
No.
baby. You
No.
thought I didn't make it? You thought I didn't make it?
Hey,
Johnny
hey.
Ace in the house.
What happened? What happened?
Let me tell you something. Donnie just walked out, and I walked in, all right?
Are you a
Vince
turncoat,
McMahon.
Johnny?
Vince McMahon. Shut the fuck up. I'm cutting the 316 promo. Vince McMahon thought he could hold down people power. Thought he could thump his porno books. Guess what? Johnny 316, baby. I'm back. Nick Khan loves me. Peace. Where's Mama Bella? Actually, you know what? I want Nikki.
Strangeness in the latest report. You gotta call Dirt Sheet Buster. Egregious lies anonymously sourced. You gotta call Dirt Sheet Buster. Scoop, 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 scoop. No lies, no retraction. Scoop, 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 scoop. Per a source that's interesting to know.
Alright guys, it is time for the best segment of the week. The segment where Donald Wood goes and cries in a corner, and myself, Mike Chiari, and my buddy, Brandon Galvin, bust some dirt sheets. BG.
Hell yeah. Like a fucking vacuum.
Absolutely. Dust busters. Remember when those were popular back in the day?
Yep. Mm-hmm. We had one growing up.
I don't use the dust buster anymore because vacuums have attachments, but
yeah.
I digress. I feel bad for the dust buster industry, but I do not feel bad for the dirt sheet industry because all they do is lie. Got some big ones this week because, haven't had a live recording in a couple weeks. We were away, the dirt sheets, they played. We're going to start with this one from F4W Online. BG, some people got hurt during Anarchy in the Arena.
Wow, you don't say.
Hope you don't want to literally know any details.
No, I mean, I would have enjoyed some details.
None. Zero.
Oh, spoilers.
Following the match, Dave Meltzer's reported in the F4W Online Daily Update that several of the participants from Anarchy in the Arena are, and I quote, pretty banged up.
Wow,
and some
okay.
of them may not wrestle for a couple of weeks while they allow their bodies to heal.
Wow.
Meltzer noted he hasn't heard that any of the wrestlers have suffered serious injuries. Nor has he apparently heard of which wrestlers or what the injuries would be, because he didn't even mention any of that.
No details.
That's like doing... That's like there being Money in the Bank ladder match, or there being like the original Elimination Chamber with the fucking metal floor and being like, people were banged up afterwards.
Right.
No shit, dude. We know they
did these crazy stunts.
On steel.
Right.
People were jumping off shit all throughout Anarchy Arena. I'm pretty sure, there's maybe some injuries of some kind.
Some black and blues.
Appreciate you letting us know that one. Couldn't have figured it out ourselves.
Fucking idiot.
This is from PW Insider. AEW wrestlers are glad Darby Allin didn't fall off a mountain.
That's good. I wish Donnie would.
It's the opposite of how we feel when Donnie goes to the mountains.
I would love for Donnie to fall off a fucking mountain.
A report from PW Insider states that talent within AEW expressed, and I quote, a lot of happiness for Allin.
A lot of happiness.
With the Mount Everest climb having been a long-standing personal goal of his. I actually give Donnie credit for once. He sent us this and made me laugh reading this. I always say, if it's something that's obvious, you don't need to report it.
Yeah.
If everybody was mad that Darby Allin accomplished his goal and did want him to fall off the mountain, then you could report it.
Absolutely. This is so stupid.
You know what? I doubt that there's even a lot of happiness for Darby Allin climbing Mount Everest. I would guess that the vast majority of people just don't fucking care.
It's your coworker. Hey, you did a feat.
I mean,
a lot of
there's
happiness. What's a lot of happiness about this?
I don't think there's a lot of happiness.
How much more happy can you be for Darby Allin doing this?
Happiness. I like to think I have a little bit of grace. I have a little bit of happiness that Darby Allin climbed Mount Everest. I am happy he didn't fall off the mountain though.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like Darby Allin, so he's fucking done it. Now get the fuck back and get on the show.
Took like a year off to climb a mountain. Awesome. Next one's from PW Insider and Fightful Select. BG, it's time to play Guess That Morale! AEW edition.
AEW edition. I was just told a lot of happiness.
Is that what you're going with? A lot
of
happiness?
Yes, a lot of happiness. What do you mean? You just told me.
Go ahead.
That was backstage. A lot of happiness.
Morale in All Elite Wrestling is said to be
up.
Way up.
Way
following Double or Nothing 2025, with AEW having long attempted to restore the feeling in the company.
Why? You've lost that.
A report from PW Insider states that many within AEW feel that Don, top to bottom, was the best presentation by the company in some time, with morale very high as a result. Fightful Select present similar sentiments, with the positive feelings about Double or Nothing lining up with murmurs from within AEW about how good the backstage morale in the company has been of late. Of course, Fightful Select had similar sentiments. AEW PR, I mean Fightful Select.
Oh.
It's just so funny, like, how this happens. Like, WWE, not even in reality of, like, cause, like, the reality is they're as successful as ever. But, like, online people, there's, like, this narrative that they're really on the decline and all this shit. And then AEW has the same pay-per-view that they always have, which is a good in-ring pay-per-view that takes 3 hours too long. And then, it's the greatest pay-per-view we've ever seen, and the morale's high. It's like just the same cycle that we're stuck in every single time.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
This also was not worth reporting.
No, not at all. Has there ever been a report, like, after a pay-per-view where they're like, the AEW morale is down? Like, maybe after fucking
like,
All In with
yeah.
CM Punk fought
I was gonna
Kenny
say,
Omega.
like, that stuff, report it.
Right. I think that's probably the only time there's ever a report about the morale being down after a pay-per-view.
Right. But, like, when you have a strong show, you don't need to tell us that people are happy about it.
Next one's from Fightful Select. Sean Sapp actively seeks out negative narratives about WWE putting a spotlight on women's wrestling. Are you surprised by this?
From Fightful? Never.
Never. According to Fightful Select, most of the women on WWE's roster weren't even told about the show in advance. That's in reference to Evolution. In fact, they reportedly learned about... Yeah, nobody was. That's kind of how, when pay-per-views happen, but if they're not annual, that's kind of how it usually goes.
Yeah.
In fact, they reportedly learned about it at the same time as the general public. The report notes almost every member of the WWE Women's roster told us that they officially learned of the show when it was announced publicly. While some top names and at least one WWE legend were given a heads up, and one may even be booked, others weren't thrilled by how the rollout was handled. Several wrestlers saw the announcement as another example of the company treating the women's division differently, referencing the original Evolution event in 2018. I think
that was a surprise
the Evolution event is to treat the women's division differently, as in they get their own show. Some people point to the curtain call group hug moment at the end of that show as something WWE wouldn't have asked the men's roster to do. Yes.
Honestly,
no two men have ever shook hands or anything.
I was gonna say, I actually despise what happened after the Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Triple H. So, yes, it's happened before many times. Honestly, I don't even remember that happening at that pay-per-view.
Neither do I. I remember most.
I remember there being
matches.
Awesome matches on the show, but I don't remember that curtain call.
Nope.
And honestly, who gives a fuck if there was, because that was a huge moment for the women's division too.
Ever all women's.
Yeah, that was massive. So no issue. And I don't see why there would be an issue here. I don't see why there's an issue with it being announced as a surprise. When that's something that people have been advocating for. What was the last one? 2018?
2018. It's been 7 years.
7 fucking years. We fucking complain that they didn't tell us ahead of time.
Insane.
What, so that it could leak?
Don't worry, there's more. There's also concern that the event is being set up to fail. Internally, some fear that if the show underperforms, especially since it's taking place the same night as a Beyonce concert in the same city, WWE could use that as a reason to not bring Evolution back in the future. Rising hotel costs and expected traffic issues were also mentioned by some as a potential excuse for WWE could point to if numbers disappoint. Yes, WWE is always wasting their time putting on shows in hopes that they'll fail. Makes sense. One top name wasn't convinced the event was necessary at all, noting the already packed daily calendar and questioning what the company would actually do with the show. They will give women a spotlight to perform. That's what they'll do with the show. On the other hand, a respected veteran in the locker room viewed Evolution 2 as a chance to showcase talent who haven't had regular opportunities on TV. Smart person.
Yeah.
Finally. That same veteran expressed hope that legends would be integrated with newer talent in a meaningful way, like they were in Evolution 1, but emphasized that WWE would need to truly support the event behind the scenes to make it work. So, it's just so funny. So people wanted all women's pay-per-view for a long time. We get it in 2018. It was great. Everybody enjoyed it. Then we don't see it for a long time, and I feel like people, including ourselves, always said since then, like, hey, they should do this again. Cause really
I don't understand why they haven't.
And now they do it, and now we're looking for things to shit on about it.
Yeah.
It's just like, If AEW did this, Fightful Select would not have a report out there with all anonymous sources shitting on it.
Yeah, I just think what's so lost in this is like clearly they're getting fucking paid for this. Meaning WWE, like they have clearly a deal with Atlanta to do these 3 shows.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they're doing it.
Right, and this is a thing that seems like it's going to be regular for them now, which is multiple shows over the course of a weekend.
Yeah.
Hold multiple shows in the same building. You probably save money on that. Plus, you have the city paying you to hold these shows.
Right.
It makes sense from their perspective.
It's just, I don't understand the complaint. You want to complain about something? Complain that it's going to be fucking 3 shows in one weekend. 4 if you count SmackDown the day before. So, you want to complain about, and then Raw on Monday. So you want to complain? Complain about that. Don't complain that they're fucking bringing the show back.
Right. BG, Triple H hates Money in the Bank, per reckless speculation.
I saw this. This made no fucking sense.
Mm-mm.
Especially because, as we've said for years, it almost feels like Money in the Bank has surpassed Survivor Series, for example, as a Big 4 pay-per-view for the company.
Right. I think it absolutely did for a time. I think bringing War Games into it made Survivor Series feel bigger again, but I still would say Money in the Bank is on that level, without a question. And they treat it as such, I think.
Absolutely.
It was recently announced that the 2026 edition of Money in the Bank will take place much later in the year than usual, with the show set to emanate from New Orleans, Louisiana on August 29th. While speculating upon possible reasons for the move to later in the year, TC of WrestleVotes, I didn't know there was a guy named TC on WrestleVotes, reported on WrestleVotes Radio that Triple H is not a big fan of Money in the Bank. I've been told Triple H is not a big fan of Money in the Bank prop as a whole, so maybe this has something to do with creative-wise, what they want to do with it, TC said. What would moving it until later in the year have to do with whether he likes it or not?
I don't understand that at all.
No. And then there's another part to this.
It's because they had a fucking deal with New Orleans to move away from WrestleMania. We're going to give you this big 4 or 5 pay-per-view. When can you do it? We can do it in fucking August. There you go. You got it.
Right. I
don't understand. Why is this so stupid?
New Orleans didn't have an opening when they traditionally do Money in the Bank.
This is so dumb, dude.
Yeah. Another part to this. Sean Sapp gets on Twitter, quote tweets this.
Oh, God.
Worth noting regarding WrestleVote's report of Triple H not being a fan of the Money in the Bank concept. He's never held the briefcase himself, never even been in one of the matches, was also never cashed in on. Seems like he intentionally avoided it.
What?
Couple things. Triple H, so Money in the Bank, what was the first Money in the Bank? 23? WrestleMania 23? Or 22, maybe?
Oh, it was 21.
Was it 21? Maybe.
Oh, maybe not. No, you may be right. I'll look it up.
Anyways, it used to, until 2010, when a Money in the Bank pay-per-view was created, it was always at WrestleMania.
Right.
And yes, you had some stars in there from time to time. You had Edge was in there before, CM Punk, guys like that, Chris Jericho. Triple H was
WrestleMania 21. Yes.
Okay, nice. Triple H was a top guy at that time. So he was never going to be in a Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania. Right? I think we could agree on that.
Absolutely.
Then we get to 2010. His last year as like a full-time in-ring wrestler, I think, was 2010. So he's barely wrestling maybe a match or a couple matches a year from 2011 onwards. So he's not going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder matches. So that point is completely moot. And so is him, him never being in one of the matches, never holding the briefcase, never being cashed in on. That's irrelevant. You know what tells me that Triple H, I think, is okay with Money in the Bank? The first fucking WrestleMania that it was all his that he booked that we went to last year, they did a fucking cash in on it. So why is he doing that and making it a big deal if he hates Money in the Bank?
It's
just
true.
Like pure random speculation that is not related to any type of reality. And we take it and run with it.
So stupid.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's fucking reckless.
Oh, it's reckless. This is ridiculous. BG, you ready for the coup de grace?
Double Sonic.
From WrestleVotes, how about that special Bianca Belair entrance on SmackDown?
What?
How about it?
Is this like a trick fucking question? Because I watched SmackDown. I mean, the fans were fucking hyped for it. It was like a homecoming, right? So,
Right. Okay,
It felt a little more special because of that. I'm confused, Mike. Explain this fucking report to me.
Here's the initial report from WrestleVotes. You guys can expect a big-time entrance for the returning Bianca Belair tonight in her hometown. So people that don't know, SmackDown was in Knoxville, Tennessee. Bianca's from there. She went to the University of Tennessee. She was wearing her volunteer orange. She comes out, gets a big ovation, cuts a promo, sings Rocky Top, she's in the ring. They play the music and everything. The entrance itself, though, it's just her normal entrance, and she comes out and people cheer. WrestleVotes follows up. Yeah. So as of 6 p.m., Bianca was set to enter with the University of Tennessee marching band. I don't know what happened between 6 p.m. and showtime. Nor do I care. They can change things as they please, and they love to do just that. Nor do you care. You don't care that you fed people incorrect information?
That's insane, dude.
I want Melts to start doing this. Yeah, it was wrong. I don't know why. Nor do I care. That's actually the reality. Melts does not care.
That is true. This is like a fucking Seinfeld bit.
It's insane. No shame among the dirt sheets, BG. How'd we do? I don't care. All right, BG. It is time for fantasy standings. How you feeling, buddy?
You already know the answer. I'm never feeling good about fantasy.
Okay. In last place, 9th with -10. Skeeter. I'd like to see Skeeter one day in fantasy WWE. In 8th with 5, George Cruz.
Good.
So only one in negative. That's pretty good.
Only Skeeter.
Only Skeeter. And he's not that negative. He's got a chance. In 7th with 7.5, George Sparrows.
Oh, I haven't heard my name yet.
That's true. In 6th with 10, Chris Jeter.
Oh, you're about to say my name.
In 5th with 27.5, BG.
There we go. And congrats, Chris Jeter. I think he got married.
He did. I actually talked to him the other day.
Oh,
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
In 4th with 30, Big Money Mike.
Mike, what's going on, man?
I had Aleister Black. I had people losing in qualifying matches. That's the problem. They weren't getting pinned, but they lost. So Aleister Black, Jacob Fatu.
That's annoying.
Yeah. In 3rd with 60, Angel Meza.
Wow. Big score.
Yes. And 2nd was 65, Donald Wood.
Ew.
Yeah.
Fuck Donnie. I fucking hate him. Not for this reason. I just fucking hate him.
In 1st was 70, the man who owns Donald Wood, Reggie Gill.
Hell yeah. I wish
that.
Reggie hosted our podcast instead of Donnie.
Yeah. I literally, if it was me, you, and Reggie.
Dude, what a trio.
Pretty much any of our listeners that we love, which is all of them, I would have a great time. And not be miserable every Tuesday.
Yep. It would be nice.
But, can't have nice things.
Alas.
All right, BG, that's it for fantasy standings. Money in the Bank this weekend, so it could be a big swing pay-per-view. Should be interesting.
Are you counting Worlds Collide?
Yes, I'm counting that as a pay-per-view.
Okay.
I am.
Okay,
but
good.
I will say probably not many people, a handful maybe.
For sure. I'm just wondering.
Are on teams. But BG, it's time for emails, guys. ringrustradio@gmail.com. Send us emails every single week. If you contribute to the email tier higher on patreon.com/ringrustradio, we have to read at least one of your emails every single month. First one's from Kevin Creel, if you will.
Nice. It's a good
Subject, underappreciated. My Dusty Rhodes impression, underappreciated. What's up, my 3 Rusketeers? I wasn't a big fan of wrestling in the late 90s, but even the tales of Sabu reached me in my early days. He may have never gotten his flowers for his impact in wrestling in life, but his death can give us the opportunity to give flowers to the wrestlers who we feel are underrated/underappreciated. So I wanted to ask you if you guys have had wrestlers you love that deserve their flowers/acknowledgement. Someone male or female who was great, but the truly casual fan wouldn't appreciate. Someone you know was never popular, but you just liked watching, or had a huge impact on the business. Mine are Too Cold Scorpio and Gail Kim. Too Cold just made everything look so smooth in my eyes, and Gail Kim was just before her time in women's wrestling. She was a shiny gem in a bin full of turds, and her impact on the knockout division in TNA is immeasurable. Keep up the good work, y'all. Triple R for life. Ring Rust!
Ring Rust.
He has predictions for what we might answer.
Oh.
I'll read them.
Okay.
For me, he thinks I would say Hardcore Holly and Lay Cool. For BG, Raven and Caitlyn. Donnie, even though he won't be around to answer because he doesn't love us anymore. Very true.
Absolutely true, yep.
Daniel Garcia / Athena. Ha 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 ha. Real prediction, Dean Malenko and Jacqueline.
Jacqueline is a great, not for Donnie, but Jacqueline just in general, great one. Great choice.
Mm-hmm. You want to go first?
I'll go first. I have a handful, Mike.
I have 2 men, 2 women is what I did.
Yep. I started doing that, but then there were a few people. I'll start with the women. Victoria and Ivory.
Victoria.
I love Victoria so much. I thought she was so awesome. To me, she was a total package in the ring. I thought her finisher was fucking awesome. She could do hardcore. She could just have great matches.
Women were not doing hardcore matches during
exactly.
I think she popularized it for women.
Survivor Series 2002 against Trish, man. That was a very entertaining hardcore match. And I always thought she was underrated on the mic. I enjoyed the fucking psychotic gimmick, so I just thought she was awesome. I thought
she was even great when she got into her mid to late 30s and she was in TNA as Terry.
Yes, absolutely. And so I just felt like she was underutilized for what I feel like if she was around today, she'd be one of the top stars.
I think the thing with her is everybody, pretty much the only women people talk about from that time,
Trish and Lita. Right,
and
that's it.
She doesn't get the recognition she
and it's
deserves
bullshit.
because of that.
It's absolute bullshit that she doesn't get the true recognition.
Molly Holly and
Jack. Molly Holly is a great one. Yeah. I feel like Molly Holly is more thought of because she also did the training. She had the Molly Holly gimmick. She got the haircut. Like there was just a lot that she did to put herself out there, even more than Victoria did. So just on TV as far as in the ring, like Victoria just doesn't get enough props. Right. I'm gonna say Ivory as well.
Yeah.
For similar. Yep. But to me, Ivory is similar to Jacqueline, where this is an era where you're not even like supposed to be able to wrestle at all because they just want you as like, you're either Sable or you're not, essentially, right? Or Chyna, which is completely a whole league of her own, Chyna, when it came to the presentation for her and the impact she had. But during that time, they didn't want you having great matches, but Jacqueline and Ivory, they could wrestle. They did the thing. They were able to have, Ivory had a fucking shit gimmick with fucking PMS, right? With Terry Reynolds and shit. So like, just nonsense in that time period. But she could wrestle and she had the right to censor gimmick that was absolutely entertaining and hysterical. So I think that eventually they will have a lot more, respect given to them. So for the men, I have a few.
Okay.
Tajiri.
Yep, great choice.
I'm going to say this name. People are going to be like, oh, no, of course not, because of what's happening right now. This is not even what I'm talking about of the current era of R-Truth. To me, it's when he was in TNA.
Right, Ron
and
Killings.
Ron Killings, the truth. Not R-Truth, the truth. He was the truth. He could do the mic work at that time period. He had the matches. He was TNA champion. You want to talk about the IWC? When TNA was coming up, you would just hear the name. It was very similar to some of the guys that we talk about as far as the independence of like, they have a buzz. And it was Truth during that time period in 2002 that just took over. And it was so awesome because I always enjoyed him as K-Quick. I was so upset when he got let go. And when I found out TNA is coming out and they're having all like, Ken Shamrock was there and there's all these ex-WWE, WCW, everyone trying to make their way into a new promotion. I was like, holy shit. K-Quick is going to be there? I want to check this. And then he was champion. I was like, holy, this is fucking awesome.
Quick was cool, but he really was like not portrayed as anything.
No, he was nothing. It was just a lackey for Road Dogg, right? And so him flipping the fucking switch to become Truth was such a big moment, as a fan of his.
Yeah.
Two more. Spike Dudley. Because you want to talk about an underdog that then put his body on the fucking line for everyone else. No one, like, very few could sell for him to could take the fucking punishment that he had. You look at some of the crazy, compilations of bumps that he was put through. Insane. And he always came back. The Dudley Doll was such a fun finisher. So I just really enjoyed that. I always thought he could have been, maybe not world champion, but he could have been pushed a lot higher in that era. I don't think Vince would ever put the championship on him, but he could have been pushed even higher than he was because he was such a great underdog. And then finally, Mike, Rhino.
Yeah.
The Gore, one of the greatest spears, the presentation that he had just in ECW alone, huge. Because this is a time period of ECW where he was taking over as all like the top guys were leaving for bigger paychecks, as they should have. But a lot of guys left for WWE, people left for WCW, and then Paul Heyman needed new people. Here's Rhino coming in. And then he gets to fucking WWE during the invasion. Dude, the Gore through the fucking SmackDown set on Jericho, iconic. You talk about TLC. Rhino had a huge hand in TLC too, in coming up with the spot. And we can't forget about his time with Heath Slater, Santa Rhino, and the whole kids gimmick and everything about that tag team was so much fun. We loved 2016 SmackDown was one of our, collectively at Ring Rust, one of the most fun times for us, I feel like. Yeah. And he was a big part of that. Talking smack. He was in TNA, when they were really coming up, and he was awesome. And so I just feel like Rhino doesn't get enough credit.
Rhino's freaking awesome, and I
mentioned Tajiri, one of the greatest cruiserweights ever. The Mist was so cool. His attire was fucking awesome. His stuff with William Regal. But here he is, someone who they never, they're not going to have him cut promos or anything. But you understood everything about Tajiri, and the presentation was so cool. And for them at that time period to make sure they knew, yes, there were some times where he was a quote-unquote joke, but he was also a serious contender. And you didn't want to go up against Tajiri because he could fucking kick your ass. And I love that about that.
It was awesome when he came back to be the Cruiserweight Classic.
Yes.
And then he was supposed to be on 205 Live.
I know, we were so upset about that.
He got hurt, remember? And that never happened. That was very disappointing. Great choice though. Rhino, I have fond memories. I remember doing I forget what was it called? Like season mode or GM mode at the time, but SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. I chose Rhino, and I fucking won the world title with him. I would go to each corner because he was the only guy. His corner move wasn't like a fucking diving clothesline or anything. It was a spear off the ropes, and I would just spear everybody off the ropes.
So awesome! I remember that.
Finish it. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's one of the greatest wrestling games of all time.
Absolutely. I agreed with you on Victoria. Another women's wrestler, I went a little more recent, Carmella. I feel like
that's a good choice.
She's very different from Victoria. Victoria was in a time where women's wrestling wasn't really focused on, and she got overshadowed by, the two biggest stars. Carmella's in a time where women's wrestling is bigger than ever, and she is overshadowed by the Four Horsewomen and Asuka and, so many others. She's not really talked about, but, even dating back to when she was first in NXT, just with Enzo and Cass, she was great in that role as essentially a manager. Gets called up to the main roster by herself. You don't know how she's going to fare. And she hits the ground running. She cut great promos right out of the gate. Had a great feud with Nikki Bella, if you remember.
I remember.
Match. It was really good. She was great as the first Money in the Bank winner. Cash in, had a good run. I think that, she wasn't amazing in the ring, and she wasn't at the level that a lot of the top women were in this more current era. But she could hold her own, and I think in terms of mic work, she was good as almost any woman in WWE was at that time. So I feel like, she deserves a little bit more credit.
If I may chime in real quick, also incredible submission finisher.
Yes,
I love that.
Used to call it.
I don't remember what it's called.
Silence, right? Or something like that.
Oh, I think you're right.
Was that it? Yeah.
I think so.
That was very cool. Very cool move. For the men, two guys that I've talked about many times over the years, my love for them that nobody else probably could understand or match. One, Juventud Guerrera. BG, you know it.
I know.
We went to whatever it was called, Extreme Reunion, WrestleMania weekend.
Yep.
Hoovy with a heartfelt speech before his match that he's going to be retiring. I was so sad. And then he was like, "Sick!" and had a smash. It's fucking great. I love Hoovy Segura. The cruiserweights were probably my favorite thing in WCW in that time from like 96 to 98. It was
even into 2001.
Sure, yes. Although Hoovy wasn't so much a part of it then, but he was around. But he, I just feel like that was like the one thing that was so different from what was happening in WWF at the time. And it introduced me to so many new wrestlers. Ray, he was the guy, and he's still remembered as like the best cruiserweight and the best, luchador ever, and one of the best just in general ever. During that time period, though, to me, Hoovy was right on par with Ray in terms of in-ring, but he's not remembered because, I think a lot of it with Ray is after WCW, what he did in WWE, which is legendary. Hoovy never really got that chance, unfortunately. But I feel he was just amazing. Him, Ray, Psychosis, all those guys.
Yeah, Psychosis was awesome.
Yeah, that just always looked forward to seeing the cruiserweight matches because you never really knew what you were going to see because not a lot of people were doing that in the United States at the time. And then my other one, Ahmed Johnson. Okay. Yeah, was he great in the ring? Absolutely not. But imagine you're a kid and you're watching the show and you see this big fucking unbelievable, one of the most jacked dudes you've ever seen in your life. And he's got a fucking cool theme song. He goes in there, whoops some ass, Pearl River Plunge, one of the coolest fucking finishers. Basically a pedigree into sit out powerbomb. Vince was pushing this guy like crazy in 1996, and I was buying into every second of it. Just like when I first started watching, Shawn was getting the big push. That's a big reason why he was my favorite guy and always has been. Ahmed was going to push you. Ahmed was going to be world champion if he had not gotten injured a million times. He was getting that kind of push, but he was just like he wasn't. He was stiffing people in the ring. His promos, you couldn't understand what he was saying half the time, but you couldn't take your eyes off it because it was like fucking all out energy. He was just a beast. It's like the same kind of like reasons why I kind of like Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's a million times better as a wrestler and as a talker, but they just have like that explosiveness and they just are like must-see television. So Ahmed Johnson getting his flowers from me.
Good choices. One more I thought of when you're talking about the cruiserweight division. Elix Skipper.
Yeah.
When he was in TNA. Prime time, hell yeah. And of course Mike Sanders. Anyways, next email comes from What's the deal with Goretz? Subject is John Cena. Dear Ring Rust Royalty, I have a confession to make. Today I was so bored I went to Patreon and paid $1.90 to get access to some evergreen content. I did this in spite of AEW Collision being available to watch. Good choice. Whilst listening to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view top 10, BG made a comment saying, "You guys wanted John Cena to lose every match." Paraphrasing here. No, I'm pretty sure it's exactly what I fucking said. And so an idea was born. Mike, BG, and Donnie probably shouldn't even get my hopes up. No, because Donnie's a fucking bitch. That's not an email. Your task is to rebook John Cena's career from start to end, knowing what you know now. You can make this as long or short as you want, but I want you to at least book his major victories and burials and decide where you have taken his career. What's the deal? Go Reds. Now, we're on a time crunch, Mike.
We are.
So I'm just going to say, The Rock should have lost to John Cena at WrestleMania 28.
Absolutely not. Not agreeing with that. Is that all you got?
That's all I got. That's all I need.
Okay. I kind of wrote like a little stream of consciousness that I'll go through quickly.
Okay.
He can keep the start of his career from like 02 to 10. Because he organically got
See,
over.
I agree with that.
Yeah. He got organically over. He was mostly loved. I'm stepping in at SummerSlam 2010, though.
Yes.
And I'm forced
I
to
agree
lose
with that.
to Nexus. Okay? Because he fucking ruined Nexus. Nexus could have been an awesome heel stable with Wade Barrett's world champion for a long time to come, and he fucked that up. We're going to keep him losing to Miz at WrestleMania. We're going to keep him losing to Punk at Money in the Bank. Loses to Rock in the first WrestleMania match. That was good. Match at WrestleMania 29? Triple threat involving Punk. Punk wins. He takes the torch instead of Cena. Keep his WrestleMania wins over Bray Wyatt and Rusev. As well as the United States Open Challenge title run, which in my opinion, favorite thing he ever did, best thing he ever did. Wouldn't have him drop the title to Del Rio, which Del would loved. Maybe
See, I think he
go
should have lost to Kevin Owens.
That would have been good. Although Kevin Owens, because I looked up at the time frame to see who would be a better choice. Kevin Owens was IC champion at this time.
Oh.
I was
I thought he was
thinking
NXT
who could be
champion.
a good call up during
Mhm.
that time. Samoa Joe would have been very cool, I
Ooh,
think.
very, yep.
I would have done that. I think after the U.S. title run is where I would have turned Cena heel because he
Mm,
didn't do much of note after that
Yep.
besides the AJ feud, I would say.
yep, and the Reigns thing.
Before he became part-time, give him a year or two as a dominant heel. Maybe try to pull off a WrestleMania double turn between him and Roman, since people hated Roman during that time period for no reason. So you
Mhm.
could have salvaged them at the same time. And if that happened, we'd be getting a babyface run to end Cena's career right now.
That is true.
There you go.
And better than what we got now. Yep.
Yep. All right, the last
I like
email. Yeah. It's from Nathan, the smart collector Tom Lanovich. Subject, Backlash Smarks. It's a Patreon email, patreon.com/ringrustradio. I was going to send Smarks for Backlash last week, but I got COVID.
Oof.
Sorry, Nathan.
Sorry,
Hope you're
man.
doing well. So I have an excuse, Donnie. Side note, I actually pulled a, so you thought I had you fooled with my mom when I told her I tested positive. This fucking show has infected my life.
Damn right.
Anyways, in lieu of sending in Smarks, here are some from the backlashes of old.
Okay, that's fun, that's
All
fun.
Number one. Damn, how many super kicks can you do in match? It looked like Solo was going to start crying when Jay slapped him on the titty.
That's funny. I like the fact Roman finally got the title because it took a long time. And the Usos make it even better. But I feel the Shield should come back. The Shield was the best group in the game. Wrestling needs a Shield. They came to the ring better than anybody. Salud.
Strange punctuation
Yep.
notwithstanding. I agree. I agree.
I
Good
absolutely agree. But yes, a period everywhere I paused.
point. Why did I get divorced? Well, last week was my birthday. My wife didn't wish me a happy birthday. My parents forgot, and so did my kids. I went to work, and even my colleagues didn't wish me a happy birthday. As I entered my office, my secretary said, "Happy birthday, boss." I felt so special. She invited me out for lunch. After lunch, she invited me to her apartment. We went there, and she said, "Do you mind if I go into the bedroom for a minute?" Okay, I said. She came out 5 minutes later with a birthday cake, my wife, my parents, my friends, my kids, and my colleagues all yelling, "Surprise!" while I was waiting on the sofa. Naked.
Classic. Absolute classic.
Didn't realize that was a backlash one.
No. Big Pass is a modern day test. Here's hoping it ends the same way, LOL. Dude, that's fucked up.
That's probably one of the most fucked up
Yeah.
comments of all time. I totally forgot about that.
Yep.
I blocked it out of my mind, I think. The last one. Arguably my favorite Smarks comment of all time. I lost all respect for the ISIS. They suck! You know what?
Classic.
I agree.
Agreed.
They do suck. They do suck. Nathan, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nathan. Hope you're feeling better.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Hopefully BG and I were able to bring you some joy after a terrible start to this show because of he who shall not be named. But as always, we appreciate you so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.